Yo, I gotta bring him in here, man. Now, when I first met this dude, we played a game of flat ground skate at this skate park, and he smoked me. My kryptonite trick is actually a fakie front big spin, and I don't think he knew that, but he did a couple variations of that trick, and I was very upset about that. Ever since then, we've been cool as hell, and that was many moon ago. My boy, Yo Ratleff. Let me bring you in here. What's poppin', family? What's
Yeah.
poppin', brother? How
What's
you doing?
poppin'? What's poppin'? You can hear
Chilling.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How's life been treating you, man? There's a lot of good things going on for you, man. Explain it. What's going on?
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. Everything is just coming to fruition. I'm just getting blessed left and right everywhere I go. Just got good people around me. Just yeah, man. Everything's looking good right now.
That's great, yo. I'm glad to hear that, man. I just been watching your progress over the years, and
Thank you.
it's an amazing story. So I'm glad you're here to share it with the world, and let's get it out there,
Of,
bro. So
of course, of
we
course.
we gonna go to the beginning, brother. Where does life and the story start for you?
Well, the story starts in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where I'm from.
Yeah, shout out to the
Um,
Noya.
That's where that's where I got all the swag from, the
Yeah,
lingo, the what I'm saying, the people skills, everything I got it from there. And yeah, where I'm from, skateboarding and pretty much anything, not just trying to make it in anything is very is tough. It's
difficult.
not an easy task.
Yeah.
um, yeah, we didn't have skate parks. We didn't have like none of that type of shit where I'm from. So
Yeah.
so yeah, growing up in New Orleans and trying to learn how to skate was definitely different. But I actually didn't learn how to skate in New Orleans. I actually moved to New York because me and my family got involved into Hurricane Katrina,
Yeah.
and that flushed us out. And
And how old
yeah,
are
we
you when you're battling that move and dealing with all that?
Hurricane Katrina happened when I want to say like 6, 7 years old.
Hmm.
So I was still very young to where I couldn't really understand what was really going on at the time. But I felt it though. I knew that this was a crazy transition for my family, and
Yeah.
seeing my mom cry, dad cry, seeing my grandma cry, like just certain things. I just knew I was like, oh, this is something that's like, yeah,
Can you kind of take us back to Hurricane Katrina, because it was destructive. It leveled an entire
yeah,
place for real.
yeah, for
Were you
sure.
were you in the midst of it? Like, do you remember how powerful the storms were? Were you out of town and kind of
Uh,
came back to it, or what?
Yeah, I was I remember it like detailed. Like we actually stayed because New Orleans is notorious for always dodging hurricanes.
Yeah.
So when they told us that we had a hurricane, everybody's like, "Oh, we just stay at home." So yeah, then yeah, I ended up spending 3 days on my roof.
Bro,
Like, it was
what?
crazy. Like, yeah, we seen the water come in. My dad, like, taking the electronics, putting it on top of the table, and then sure enough, the water just got to a point where it just wasn't stopping. So we just
Yeah.
had to move to plan B. And my grandma lived next door. She had an attic. So my pops was like, yo, we need to all go to the attic. Like, we go. So that was the next, like, the highest place that we
In
can
the
like
house,
store.
exactly.
Yeah, in the house that we can store ourselves. So yeah, then we in the like we get in there. The water is still just like climbing up, and then eventually it just stopped. And then we was just like just sitting there and just try to. My sister, the only one that had a phone on her, so she tried to call 911. They didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
They just was like, yo, we don't know what's happening right now. This is like a world. Like, this is a natural disaster. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. So
we-
there's no way to really
we-
rescue you right now and everything like
yeah,
that.
exactly. So yeah, we just ended up chilling in the attic overnight, slept overnight, woke up, and then boom, it was like survival mode. All right, what are we doing? How are we eating? How are we getting out of this? So we woke up, and then my dad put a hole in the roof so we could get like some type of like ventilation outside and just go on the roof, get fresh air. So we went outside on the roof. We saw helicopters just like all in the sky, just like picking people up. So it was like, all right, that's how we getting out of here. But
You say
they,
you around 6 or 7 years old experiencing this?
yeah,
Bro, what the hell? Yeah, man.
yeah.
So you see the helicopters, you guys are on the roof. Keep going. My bad.
No, good. Yeah, it's so yeah, we see the helicopters and we're like, all right, that's how we're gonna get out of here. And but it took fucking days though. Like literally 3 days. Like every day we would just that day, boom, went up there, try to wave, helicopter just flying over. Some of them is news helicopters, some of them military, some of them just normal helicopters. People just trying to see what the hell going on.
Yeah.
Like, and then the final morning was I actually woke up and I went on the roof and I had like my dad had got me like a floaty thing, like one of those noodles.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, like in the pool. So I started waving that, and I was the only one up. And then the helicopter came. So then I just immediately went to tell my family. I said, yo, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming.
Whoa, bro.
Yeah, then we all got up on the roof. We see they put down this little like metal bin for us all to like sit in, but they thought they was gonna have enough room. So my dad thought was like, they was like, yo, we might have to leave you behind. And then like I didn't cry the whole time. Like I said, I was very young. So
Exactly, bro. Yeah, 100%.
I didn't know really what was going on like that, but when they said my dad had to leave or like be separated from us, that's when I started crying. I was like, no, like what? Like
Yeah, this is
I
already
kind of like
crazy. House
yeah,
destroyed. Like I've been on my roof,
yeah,
and now you
yeah,
gotta tell me
yeah,
I gotta separate from my father who's been out here trying to make us get up out the way. And yes,
yeah,
so you
yeah.
dealing with that. And then what was the process of that?
But so pretty much there was like the I want to say like whoever was the pilot or whoever was in charge like told them like nah, like make it work, like let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So we just all hopped on there. I just got on my mom's lap and then yeah, they picked us up and then I remember my dad saying like, yo, go get my neighbor, like
Trying to rescue the
he was
hood. He was like,
yeah,
go get the hood. Hell no. Hey, because if we get back and we move in here and he next door, he'd be like, I saw y'all get lifted out this mud. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
For sure.
He's like, I don't want to be the only one with the rescue story. That's like having money in the hood.
Well, you know, I'm skimming through certain little details, but the reason why he wanted to pick up the neighbors because the second day, my dad and him went to go try to get this boat from down the street.
Ah, okay.
So they was like they swam and went to go try to get this boat, but it had a chain on it and was water filled in it. So it was like it was messed up.
It was a dub.
Wasn't even it was a bop. They just kind of looked out for each other. Plus they stored like food. They had like extra food and stuff they sent over and like yeah.
Oh,
It
so
was
they
like
were they were working together, and your father was like,
yeah
"Yo, like I need him.
yeah
He's resourceful. We just
yeah
trying to
yeah
save our families like together." Okay, that makes a
yeah
lot of sense.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, picked up his whole family and then boom, it's all of us like 10 of us in a helicopter like, and then we end up going to Shreveport, which is like a couple hours away from the city, and
Okay.
we stayed at like a little shelter for like a day, just like a bunch of people from New Orleans who just got rescued, and like
Yeah.
yeah, that shit was crazy. Like honestly, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Like people crying, people can't find their families, little girls, little boys, like don't know where their dad's at. Like it's just literally a shit show. Like
Yeah.
I go in the bathroom, I see like old men just like washing their balls and
Yeah, cause hey, it ain't no showers. Y'all in these recovery. Yeah, like I seen the commercials.
Yeah,
You seen the commercials and you see like the news stories of how everybody was in these shelters and you experiencing all this at a really
yeah,
young age. So it's like you're reflecting on like a lot of trauma, but you saying you kind of like, okay, I don't really get it. So it's not hitting you per se, but
exactly.
it's kind of unraveling. Like you say, you're picking up on details as each day goes by.
For
You were just
sure.
this kid kind of having fun. Like at this point, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You and
Nah, like when it happened, I thought we was in a movie or something.
yeah,
Like, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I'm like, oh, like this is crazy. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm still not quite I didn't really register what really was going on until like, yeah, old, like I got older,
older.
18,
Yeah,
19. Then I was like, oh damn, I really was in some shit. Like,
yeah,
but yeah, it's crazy though. So yeah, we staying at the shelter for the day. So my sister, this is where the story gets really interesting.
Yeah.
So this is how we end up moving to New York. My sister, my sister rapped back in the day,
Okay.
and she was a rapper, and she was on 106 and Park Freestyle Friday as a female MC,
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
so, but this is before it actually like happened. She went to New York and auditioned and she made it. But then BT found out that she was in the storm and like cuz she contacted him when we got to the shelter
Yeah.
and it was like, "Yo, what? Like we're doing this SOS thing. We're going to fly y'all out here, fly your whole family out here." So
Bro,
BT actually
what? Oh
yeah, it's
hell
crazy.
no.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I can't make none of this up. Can't make none of
I
this up.
know, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So they flew us out there. My mom had friends in New York because my mom was like really into like doing stuff with the community and like
Yeah.
and so she would travel around a lot with like groups and like helping out kids and like just being like the
Just on the
illest.
give
She
back
was like,
type of time, like
yeah,
always trying to
for,
provide in some type of way. Okay.
for
So
sure.
y'all
So
got connections
yeah.
in New York.
Yeah, so we had connections out there. We had a place to stay, so we flew out there. BT held us down. They and then they ended up giving us a car. So it was like, so my mom was just like, well, they gave us a car. My sister, she made the audition for the Freestyle Friday.
Yeah.
So then it was like, all right, we guess we're staying in New York. And then that's when like my mom was like, well, what are you gonna do, Yosef? Like, and I was just like, I don't know, like. I like basketball at the time.
Yeah.
I like I was trying to rap a little bit. I was trying to like break dance and shit. I was trying to do all type of little stuff, but I didn't
Exactly.
have my thing yet,
Yeah. Rapping and
And then
dancing is our origins.
for sure, for sure.
Facts.
So yeah, then my uncle Safari, he was around and he was with us in the storm as well.
Mhm.
He's from Oakland. And
Shout out to
when we
that.
got to me, yeah,
Feel
shout
me?
out
I'm
to
from Oakland as
Safari.
well.
Nah, that's dope.
That's
That's dope.
fine. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So
So Unks.
yeah, Unc, he had a board. So because he from Cali. So
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, I skate, da, da, da. But I didn't know he was a skater until we got to New York. And then he got a board, he was skating around, and I was like, yo, well, what are you doing? And he's just like, yeah, I skate. Like I remember the first trick he did was a no-apply tail slide because he took me to the skate park with him.
Mhm.
And he did a no-apply tail slide on a quarter pipe, like on some old head shit. And
Yeah.
I was
Just
like,
water.
I was
Just
like,
like, oh
yeah,
hell.
water with the like Mike Carroll type heads and shit. Like,
Oh.
and so
Oh.
he started going crazy. So I'm like, damn. I was like, he really could skate. So instantly, I was like, oh, I was like, I want to learn that. I want to learn that. And then he was like, you really want to learn how to skate? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right. He was like, we're gonna go to the park tomorrow morning. He one of them like real OG, like I'll show you the way type. You know what I'm
Exactly. If you want to do this,
saying?
I got you.
Yeah, I got you. We gonna work hard. He one of them.
Yeah.
So I remember the first day, he took me to the park and he just seeing if I could push, and he was like, okay, you could push a little bit. I kind of picked up kind of quick.
Yeah.
And then he was like, made me go off a ledge, like just ride off a ledge, like first time skating. And he was just like, if you go off this ledge by the end of the day, like I'll teach you more. I'll teach you how to ollie next time. Cause that's why I kept asking. I was like, yo, teach me how to ollie. Teach me how to ollie, bro. I want to learn tricks. He was like, bro, you
But
gotta know how
what
to.
correlation did you have with skating before that? Like, did you see it on anything, a video game or
Never,
nothing? Okay.
never. New Orleans was not like that. Like
Yeah.
skateboarding was not a thing at all. It didn't even it practically didn't even exist. It probably was like 5 skaters
Yeah.
like at that time where I'm from. Like, yeah, it wasn't even like that.
Wow, bro. That's
Yeah.
many. That's many. So you over here just like kind of, how do you know what ollie is? Just like natural instinct of just knowing what that is, or
Because well, he told me. I was
okay,
like, yo,
how
what's
you
up?
jump?
I was like, yeah, I was like, how you know, I said, what's the jump? He was like, it's called an ollie. And I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I want to learn how to do that. I want to jump. I want to jump. And he's like, I will teach you that next, but you gotta get your board control down. He was like, but he made me go off a ledge, like at least like 3-4 stair height. And he was like, if you go off of this, I'll teach you more. But I think he really just wanted to see me eat shit.
Yeah,
But,
he probably wanted to see if you eat shit to see if you'll stand up and keep doing it.
No, 100%,
So yeah,
100%.
facts.
And he saw I was determined. Like, I ate shit so many times. He kept telling me, just lift up a little when you see the end. Lift up, lift up. And I just wasn't getting it. And then like 4 hours later, I got it. And it was like damn near dark, and like the whole park was screaming. Everybody was like, "Oh, he did it!"
Wow. Do you remember what park that
And
was?
then, it was in Brooklyn, because that's where we stayed at by my mom's friends in Brooklyn, like off of like Flatbush or something like that.
Okay. It's like one of them
Yeah,
little
definitely
random,
in bed
one of them little
in
random
Bed Stuy
skate
for
parks.
sure.
Yep. I think it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah, it was
that
in. It,
that main one. I think I know exactly the one you're talking about. It's like one of the oldest parks
yeah,
in New York, I
maybe,
think.
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, bro. So
yeah, yeah.
you're
So,
going through this. You saying you're getting skateboarding kind of fast. You finally land off this
hmm
ledge, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm about to do. You're like
hmm
9, maybe 10 years old at this time.
I didn't really like start skate. Like I was skating with my uncle. He taught me a couple things, but I shortly stopped after
Okay.
that because it became kind of challenging, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I think I got kind of over it because I couldn't ollie, and I was like, yeah, like, all right, I'll just go do something else. So that's when I was like, all right, I'm into basketball. Like that's my
That's your
shit.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing. Basketball, and I was doing like I was kind of like a little pretty kid, so I was doing some modeling stuff, acting, trying to
Yeah.
do that type of stuff. Living in New York, that was like kind of like the
That's the
options,
MO. That's what kind of
for
happens
sure.
if you get in that world. And your
100%.
sister's already doing the entertainment thing. Your mom has a few
100%.
connections. Your uncle coming
100%.
from California. You got all these things. It's like let me go out and strive. So I'm a model.
Exactly.
I'm a dip into hooping and having things like
Yep,
that. And
yep.
so when you're modeling stuff, money coming in, you doing? Was that like? Did you get like
Yeah,
paid? Like,
I actually got an agent, and because so when my sister got the connection at BET, when she was at BET, my mom ended up meeting this dude, and he was like, "Yo, Yosef has like a really unique look. He should model." And my mom was like, "Okay, easy." He was like, "I'm gonna send you this lady's number or whatever, and you could like talk to her, and she could like maybe become his agent."
yeah,
So then we went to this building. I forgot what the name of the agency was called, but I ended up going there, and then yeah, it was like, "Oh yeah, Yosef's perfect," and then boom, I was getting jobs just like that, like just little things, Toys R Us ad, or this, that, like a little kids Calvin Klein thing, and just like little stuff like that. And then, but I didn't really like it though. I didn't
okay.
know what I was. It was still too young to know what I was
Doing
doing. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
was just like, my mom kind of was wanting me to do it. Like, my mom wasn't really like, she didn't really push sports on me. She was more like, do poetry, do rap, act, model, do something like artsy,
Constructive. Yeah, do something
Yeah, yeah,
constructive.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She was more on an artsy type tip and just more like expressive, more than like a physical type thing. But then so when I found skating, I was just like, yeah, like this is what I want to do. Like my Uncle Safari taught me a little bit, but I didn't really take it serious. But then I remember I got Tony Hawk Underground too, and it went to New Orleans on the game. And that's
yeah.
that's what convinced me.
Oh, what?
I was like, oh, Tony Hawk in New Orleans. I was like, oh yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta
it's
skate.
up. It's up. It's a calling. It's my calling. I'm meant to do this.
But for sure.
So you're in New York and you're hooping. Like, do you join teams? Like, how far does that go for you? Like, are we just hooping recreational, kind of
um,
being outside doing it, getting the shoes, wearing some jerseys, or like we doing pickup games? Like, what's your level
now
of hooping?
I was playing park ball for a little bit. I didn't really get into playing for a school or anything because I was actually like being homeschooled at the time.
Okay.
So I was doing homeschooling, and then I just go play park ball, try to do some yeah, just try to do like just park ball really. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but just
just
you following that swag. That's what you mean. You got into basketball. It's hoop shoes.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
all about I'm watching basketball. I'm enjoying. I'm taking it in. So then you get
No,
this
for sure.
you get this copy of Tony Hawk Underground 2. And how long until are you playing it, finishing it, and then you're back skating? Because you say it's your calling. Like, do you go get another board or what is it?
Well, so when my uncle was teaching me, that's when we first moved. So, but I didn't
You
get back
stopped.
on the board for
Yeah.
like 2 years or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
And then then when I got the game, I was playing it, and then I was like, man. And then when I got to the actual challenge, like them in New Orleans, I was like, what? They in New Orleans? I was like, dang, like I was like, man, maybe I was like, maybe I should pick up the board again.
Yep.
And I was like, I hit my Uncle Safari. I was like, man, I want to skate like for real this time. And he was like, you sure? He was like, we gotta get you a real board because I just had like a little like Walmart Target board at the time.
Yeah.
And I knew it wasn't a real board. I think I told my mom that. I was like, yo, like, I was like, I play Tony Hawk. Like, this ain't a real board. Like, I need a real skateboard. So her and my uncle took me to KCDC skate shop.
Fire.
And so that was the first skate shop I ever went to.
That's
So I
actually
was like,
gas.
dang.
That's so
Yeah, I
sick.
seen everything in there, all the magazines, like posters on the wall. Like it was like a big Vans poster on the wall. I think it might have been like Dustin Dolan at the time or something. Like I just was seeing all this and I was like, this is a whole different world. Like
Yeah.
even the way the dudes were talking, like I can tell then I was like, oh, skaters are kind of like dickheads, but I kind of like it.
Oh God in heaven,
like,
bro. That skate shop will show you that. That skate shop, that first visit will show you that these ain't dudes that's nothing nice. Especially because you got to remember in that time period too, it's like you almost kind of defend what you do. That's what comes from that. That's why we got a lot of the hard ass OGs, even though I don't really like it. And I'm like, don't do that. It comes from the fact that when they was doing it, they was the weirdos. It wasn't girls always around unless you was the pros.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You the outcast. So it come from that. So you go to KCDC.
I could tell that when I was there. I was like, oh, these guys are real seclusive. Like I felt it. I was like, yeah, like the way they was talking to my mom, like my mom was like, hey, like, what's like some good like skate videos for my son to watch? And they're like, oh, I don't know, like probably like Baker 3 or something. Like they just
be hella nonchalant, yeah,
nonchalant, just like, yo, like what? Like, but it's crazy because at the time I didn't get it, but now I get it. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Like we really have our own world over here, and it's just like, oh, here go somebody trying to come in our world, like
yet again, here go one of these little kids trying to do this thing and want to ask all these questions and probably not end up doing it for their life, because that's the assumption that they have.
But in going to that skate shop though, it the first skate video that they actually told my mom to buy, which was, I think it was a black dude who was working there. So he told my mom, yo, you should buy the ice cream video. And I didn't get it at the time, but now I get it. I'm like, oh, so he was putting her on game because he know, like, you know, skateboarding is, you know, it's at that time, especially, it was a predominantly white.
Don't sugarcoat it. It's Black History Month. It's XGames. They gave you a chance. It's predominantly European face people. It's white folks, and we love y'all to death. Like I told you, Tony Hawk is my uncle.
We love y'all.
Tony Hawk is my uncle. That's why I had him first for Black History Month. I break the rules. He counts. He's on our side. Skateboarding is mainly not the people that look like you and I. That's fine.
100%.
And we not judging it. That's just who's willing to get their ass whooped by a ledge, rail, and a ramp every day. Probably not people that look like us. We rather get whooped. We rather get our ass whooped in many other fashions. We rather destroy ourselves in many other ways. But skateboarding is not the way we choose to do it, and that's okay. So you're saying he was trying to put you on game because he knew, because that's one of our first videos too. He knew.
Oh, nice.
You seeing that ice cream video would make you be like, okay, they look like me in this.
Yes,
that's lit.
He knew that.
Yeah,
he knew that, and I think that's maybe my mom might have even asked him that on the side type shit, because she one of them mamas like, yo, like, you got any like videos for like little black boys and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, like something like that's, you know, related to him or something like that. Like, she deep like that, so I could tell like she might have asked him that on the side. But yeah, he was like, yo, watch the ice cream video. Like, it was perfect representation of skating and just like culture, everything. So when I seen that, like, I was like, oh, skating is fucking lit. Like, like yo, like TK and Jacob Walder and Kevin. I'm like, yo, this is so sick. I'm like, dang.
Pharrell making that cameo.
Bro, just like the chains, the clothes, the colors, like everything. Like, they going on tour, they go to Japan. Like, I ain't skate till I get my watch fixed, like all that. I was like, oh, this is like, it was like a rap video, and I can relate to that because that's all I would watch was rap music videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just our culture. So yeah, I just instantly was like, yep, all right, this is sick. Like, I like this.
Yeah. This is now my thing. So that
Yeah,
pushes you.
this is my
You
thing.
leave the shop, you skating for a little bit, you starting to really get it. It becomes familiar. This is the thing you're doing.
Mhm.
What age does it become like, hey yo, I'm trying to either film or do anything with it? Do you go, yo, I need to start filming parts or try to get sponsors, or how does any of that go?
That didn't happen. So really, I'm just in like the learning stages when I'm in New York. I end up moving back to New Orleans,
Yes.
and that was when I was around like 12, 13 years old. So I was in New York for some time.
Yeah.
So I was in New York for like, yeah, like 5, 6 years. And then we ended up moving back to New Orleans. And then it was just, I remember being so bummed because I was like, dang, like there's nowhere to skate out here. But I think that's what made me want to really take it serious because I was like, yo, I think I really like this. Like I want to keep it going. But
Yeah.
so I was just, but there was like, yeah, it was just different. I was just like, damn, but I'm in New Orleans now. Like, how do I do this? But I just loved it that much that I was like, all right, freak it. Like, I'm just going to try to, I don't know, like I gotta I think I told my mom, like, yeah, can you give me a camera? And like we just started searching up like if there's like contests or anything like around, just anything skate related, like
Yeah.
in New
Put
Orleans.
me
Like
on it.
I was just trying to put me on it and like I'm trying to figure it out. And then that's when we looked up the skate shop called Humidity Skate Shop.
Humidity.
And
Know ya.
yeah, legendary.
Yeah,
Legendary.
100%.
They've been there,
Shout out
been
Philly.
there they still one of the oldest skate shops around. They've been around since like 96, 97, or something like that.
I want to
And
give like a I want to give
still
a
keeping it going.
huge shout out to Humidity, because my mom went in there. She went to the jazz festival and they showed her
Oh,
love.
nice.
This is right
Nice.
when skate line and all that stuff started. She went out there and was like, y'all know my son, you know. It's different now.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? She
yeah.
she never really did
Yeah.
this before, but she was having her moment like, my son do the
Nah,
skateboard
that's
stuff.
sick.
And they was
Yeah.
actually being good. So I actually got a lot of love and respect for Humidity. But so
Yeah.
you going over there, and are you forming like a relationship with those dudes or what?
Yeah. So I ended up going to school at the school called McDonough 15, which was literally around the corner from Humidity in the French Quarters.
Jesus.
So every day I would literally just walk there and just bug Phil that worked there and
Yeah,
just
shout out
bug
to
him. Yeah,
Philly.
shout out Philly. That's my OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to just go over there and just bug them and just be like asking them questions. Yo, when y'all going skating? Like that's when I noticed like, all right, I'm really trying to like do this. Like I don't know where to start, but I know I got to start here. Start at the skate shop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, all right, go to the shop, like just go link up, try to go skate downtown, skate the streets with them, and then if but well, so when I was in New York, I kind of like got kind of good a little, you know, I wouldn't say
Like
good,
I was saying,
but
you got familiar with it. Like you had it.
I got
Yes.
yeah, like
Yep.
I could ollie and stuff at this point. I could kick
Exactly.
flip, I could like 180 shove and all this stuff. But a lot of kids in New Orleans wasn't even doing that. So when Phil first linked with me and I linked with him at Humidity, like, and everybody there, all the homies that skate there,
Yeah.
my homie Dante, like everybody, they just was like, oh, this little kid that like he kind of good, like, he can hang type
Type
swag.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, like, they'll be like, oh yeah, come to like mini rant Wednesdays and stuff, and like, oh yeah, come skate street with us after the shop closed after 7. And so I was like, okay, I'm starting to get into this little crew, like, this little community in New Orleans, and everybody knowing everybody, and everybody was knowing me, and I was knowing them, and I was like, damn, this is sick. And then I remember I won my first YMCA contest, and
Wow.
and then that's when I was like, all right, like I want to get sponsored. Like I want to try to like really do it. And yeah, my mom, she came to the contest, my sister, everybody was there, and it was like, I think that was the first time for my mom too, because she
She's
let me
skeptical
skate.
on it. She's skeptical
Yeah,
on it. She's like, there's
for
nothing
sure,
of
for
this.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't know nothing about it. She was like, "Yo, what are you like? I don't know nothing about this, Yosef. Like, you sure like you doing so good at modeling and acting and all this stuff? Like, you getting deals left and right, like with this type of stuff. Like, but you just, I was like, y'all want to quit? I just want to skate. That's it. Like, and she was just like, what? Like, what is it about this skating thing? And then You know, I was like, yo, come, I'm gonna go to this contest. And then, yeah, she came into this contest, took me there. And then, yeah, she saw I won and she was like, dang, like you is good. Like, I was
That's
like,
hard. That's hard.
I was like, I've been trying to tell you, like,
Whole
and
time.
the whole time, like she'll hear me and my friend Dante like on the phone talking about skate tricks and stuff. She just wasn't getting it. And then she
Yeah.
was like, all right, now I get it. This is like hip hop for y'all when I was growing up. Like, you
Mm.
know, like it's this new thing. You know, your parents don't get it, but it's positive though.
Yeah, it is. It has a
Yeah,
lot of
so
negativity to it too. So, obviously
just
you
like
said
anything,
just like
though.
anything else. So, but my thing is,
Anything.
when you're doing these YMCA's or anything, these contests, are they at a local skate park or are you? Because I know you say
Okay.
you really focus on the street. Because I don't think New Orleans
Yeah, we didn't have a skate park.
Yeah, you guys didn't have one.
So they would build stuff like ramps and stuff like in a parking lot, like
Yeah.
on
Okay.
some like Tony Hawk, like Bones Brigade type shit.
Yeah.
Like
Wow, bro. That'd be the way
yeah,
you guys would have
so
your contest.
yeah, it'll be like a flat bar, then it'll be like a a hip, like a little hip or something, a kicker ramp, and then like quarter pipe, and then like yeah, stuff like that.
Wow. Hold on. Wait. We gotta. Do you see this clip that's playing right now?
Oh yeah, dang, that's old Yoski.
Yo, can you explain this clip and how deep y'all are outside? Like we gonna get back in. We gonna get right back into the story. But like, look at Barante with the fro and
Yeah, bro.
bro,
Yeah, man.
everybody is outside.
Yeah, those are early primitive days with the boys. Yeah, I don't know. That day I was random. I don't even think I was even trying to skate that day, and I just saw Barante. He actually backside flipped it right before that try,
Okay.
and that's so. Yeah, I got his back, and then that's why everybody was going crazy. It was like, oh, he got his back.
That's hard. That's
You
hard.
see,
So
Spanish Mike ball head ass right
yeah,
there.
I see him. I see him. Big ball head and savage. We love you, Spanish. I seen him in the chat too. Shout out to Kev Perez also. So now
Yeah, my boy.
we get back into it. You win the contest. Mom starts to understand it and feel it, and
Mm-hmm.
now you're winning. You want to be sponsored. Who decides to pick you up? Like, is it a challenge finding a sponsor? Are people telling you you're not good enough yet, even though you get it? Like, what's happening with that challenge?
So with that, so I was I think I was like 13 at the time. So yeah, I was still trying to figure it out. Like humidity, they was like hooking me up a little bit. And then my cousin, I mean not my cousin, my homie Dante, he liked my cousin.
Yeah,
But
we black.
yeah,
It
he
happens.
yeah, we black. Yeah, we all family. We all brothers and
Yeah,
sisters.
yeah.
But yeah, so he no, his cousin was gonna start like a little shop uptown New Orleans called OLLIEONFRERET.
Okay,
And he was
fire.
like, yo, you should skate for this, you should skate for this shop that I'm gonna skate for. It's like my cousin, he's gonna run it, da 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 da. And because humidity was still like to us, humidity was elite. Like
Yeah, you got to be damn near pro or about to be pro to be on
yeah,
humidity.
type shit. Like they had this kid named Zach Keeney that skated for humidity, and he was like flow for like Etnies and like World Industries at the time, and like he was good, like
Yeah.
switch front hill down gaps and shit. And I
Oh
was like,
damn.
oh okay, like yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna
We
go
ain't
over
there
here.
yet. We not there yet.
Yeah. We're not there yet. But it was funny because Phil kind of got a little mad at me. I did that because he I didn't even know it at the time, but he was really looked at me like a little homie because like I said, I used to go to school down the street from
Facts.
humidity. So he looked at me, he was like, yo, like you gay, like what? Like, why you gonna skate for another shop? I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know. Y'all ain't sponsoring me. So
I gotta go over here.
yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Like, it's so crazy. I'm young saying that to him. Like, that's funny as hell. But yeah, I was just like, man, y'all ain't sponsoring me. Like, or I don't know, y'all. I was just like, I'm trying to get hooked up. Like, I ain't had shit really.
Type.
So they was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'll give you 2 boards, some shirts. I'm like, 50% off on some shoes or something. I'm like, okay, say less. Like, I ain't got shit. Like, we ain't got nothing. Like, I'm bumming boards and bumming shoes from homies. And,
Yeah.
like my parents ain't got it. And we just trying to bounce back from the whole hurricane, everything. And then my mom and dad was going through stuff at that time, divorcing. So, like, it's like, yeah, a whole bunch was going on in the mix of all that.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, like I'm going over here. That's where all my friends are anyway. Anyways, So it was all love though.
But
And then
it was hard for him to understand because he thought you was next up to try to be a part of it. It was going. He probably
no,
thought you
for
was
sure,
going.
for sure.
He probably thought that you were just going to work towards that. A lot of
Yeah,
shop
yeah,
OGs
yeah,
do that, bro. A lot of shop
yeah,
OGs do
yeah.
that. So, but yeah, so
But he was yeah.
you go over there with your partners, and then what?
So yeah, I go over there with my partners, and but hey, I'm gonna say this though: everything happened for a reason.
Type.
Everything happens for a reason, and I don't know why I went to the shop or why I went with him, but something in me was like, "This is where my homies at. This is where I feel like I should go and hang out with."
Mm-hmm.
So I did it, and then shortly, months after, um, the whole big news like Lil Wayne skateboarding.
Yeah.
It like hit the internet crazy.
Yeah.
So us being from New Orleans, we all saw it. We
Yeah.
look at Wayne like a god.
Type.
So we
Hunt.
now for real, like if you from New York, you look at Jay-Z, Nas, like yeah, like that's
Yep.
how we are in New Orleans. So we all heard about it, and my homie Dante, he was telling me, he was like, man, Wayne, my cousin, like real life blood cousin. And I was like, what?
In which
Like,
way? Hold
no,
on,
no
because
way.
that could mean two things. But yeah, go ahead.
No, like
we're not gonna get
he's
into it.
exact. No, for sure.
No, my fault. Keep going.
No,
Keep
no,
going.
no. He is his biological cousin.
You feel me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So he was telling me this because I went to his house one day, and then he's showing me pictures. Like, yeah, look, this is a picture of me and him. And we young at the time, so he's like, yeah, he tried to study, he tried to flex. Like,
Exactly.
he's like, yeah, see, like, look, yeah, we was at the concert with Drake, like this right here, this right here. He was like, but I haven't seen him in a while. Like, I was like, yeah, I was like, that's crazy. I was like, damn, that's sick. I didn't really think much of it at the time. I was just like, oh, my homie Dante's just trying to flex on me real quick.
Of
But
course.
he so yeah, so around Christmas time, Wayne comes to the city, and he goes to like a family dinner, and Dante is there.
Yeah.
And that he sees Dante from afar and calls his name. He says, hey, yo. He was like, yo, you my cousin. And he was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, come here. And Dante go over there. He walking on. He's like, yo, you skate? And he was like, yeah, how you know? He was like, I see holes in your shoes. Like, I figured you skate. He was like, I'm just starting to get into skating. And he was like, yeah, I seen on the internet, da 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 da. Like, you've been skating and stuff. And so he's like, yeah, like, did they have places to skate in New Orleans? They start they just start talking and
Exactly. Just a natural
yeah,
open convo. Yeah.
natural open convo. And then he's like, yeah, do y'all have anywhere to skate here in New Orleans? Like, I could get my assistant to like rent out a park or something, or yeah, we could like go skate somewhere. And he was like, yeah, there's this BMX park that we could only skate at on Wednesdays. It was called Rampage.
Okay.
And yeah, and it was like 30, 40 minutes outside of New Orleans. And you could only skate there on Wednesdays, and you had to pay like $10 or something like that. But it's like big ass ramps and shit. Like not really much like street shit, but they had like a bump to bar and just like banks and like little hips and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, so he was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna tell my assistant to rent it out, and like let's we should skate there. He was like, you got homies, anything? He was like, yeah, like I got my little homie Yo-Yo and like my other homies, and my skate shop, OLLIEONFRERET and everything. He was like, cool. He was like, y'all got videos and stuff? And he was like, yeah. So he showed him some videos, and I was the youngest in the crew, but I was kind of like, not to toot my own horn,
But
but
you
I
was
was kind of
beast. You was
like,
getting it. You
I
was
was
getting
getting
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, you was
I was
getting
on my
it.
shit. I was determined. I was ambitious. Yeah, I said so. He was watching the videos, and my homie Dante told me that he just kept going, like, because I had a big afro, and he was
Mhm.
like, "Yo, who's the kid right there with the big afro?" And he was like, "Oh, that's the little homie Yo-Yo." He was like, "Yo, he's nice, like where he's from New Orleans, like that." He's like, "Yeah, he's only 14, 13." And he was like, "Damn," he was like, "Invite him for sure." And yeah, my friend Dante didn't tell me this until like years later. So I was like, wow, like it's crazy. So yeah, he told so like he was like so he told him like, all right, yeah, invite Yo-Yo. So boom, he invite so Dante calls me and he's like, yo, guess what happened today? And I was like, what's up? I was in bed at this time, like just laying down, probably watching a movie or something.
Yep,
And
being regular.
literally just teenage shit, probably watching American Pie or something.
Regular shit.
Yeah, regular shit. And then Dante calls me and he's like, yo, guess what happened, bro? And I'm like, what happened? He's like, bro, I met my cuz today, like on some skate shit. Like shit was crazy. I was like, what? I was like, what happened? He was like, bro, he wants to skate with us tonight. Like, he was like, I can't really explain too much, but like he wants to skate with us tonight. And like we're going to Rampage. Come there at midnight. I was like, bro, you sure? Like, you like this is crazy. He's like, yes, bro, come. Like, he's like,
this is important.
I'm not fucking yes. He's like, I'm not messing around. Like, you gotta come, bro. You gotta come. He was like, and then that's when he said he wants you to come. And I was like, he wants me to come? He's like, yeah, bro. I was telling him about you. Da, da, da. He was like, I was showing him videos, like, bro, just come. I was like, all right, cool. So I went into the other room, knocked on my mom's door. I was like, Mom, Dante called me. He said, like, Wayne wants to skate with us. And she was like, what? Wayne want to skate with y'all? And I was just, I was like, yeah, like, I was like, yeah, Dante is his cousin and da da da, just explaining her what was going on. And then she was like, all right, well, yeah, I'll she wanted to come. And then I was just like, Ma, can you just like let me just, you know what I'm saying? I'll just go by Dante's house later. Like, can you just let me be? Like, she was like, okay, I'll just let you go. So she let me go by myself. She didn't like come in and try to like
I see what you said. I see what you said.
Yeah. Because my mom, one of them type moms, she would go.
You see my baby, he the best one there.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, the whole.
For sure. She'll go up to Lil Wayne and be like, look, so I don't know. Like, she'll just start.
I don't know what you got going on, but I think you should sign him. He's already got an agent. Yeah, I hear you. It's just, hey, they do it out of love, but I hear you.
Yeah.
So she trusts you. She lets you go out late. And you go out.
Yeah, she let me go out. She let me go out late, and I wasn't a bad kid at all. Like, I always stuck to myself. I was always nice to everybody. I always just like skated and just always tried to like watch music videos and shit. And yeah, just normal kid stuff. Played a video game. Like, I was just chilling. So she trusted me. She was like, all right, yeah, I know you ain't gonna do nothing wild. Like, yeah, go ahead. Plus, I had older homies there too that she knew. So she was like, okay, like, all right, it's all
official.
Yeah, it was cool. So boom, I'm there and everybody's there, all the homies there, Dante's there. So I'm like sitting on top of the ramp and all of a sudden I see Wayne walk through the door and he literally is just walking around saying what's up to everybody. And the first thing I noticed was them shiny ass teeth.
Hey, real diamonds, boy.
No, real diamonds.
Them
I was like,
from the Mediterranean Sea. Clean
like
bitch.
These were like VVS's before people even knew what that was.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these were like stones. Tight. I was just like, yo, this is crazy. I saw it from like hundreds of feet away. I'm like, oh my god.
From Rwanda.
Shining.
The deepest depths of Rwanda. Shining, bling, bling, blow, full of mouth. So you noticed that first thing.
First thing, and he had a colorful ass golf wing backpack on. And some Vans on and like some little tight joggers and like a bunch of chains on. And then he had like some type of girl with him with like a BBL.
Yeah. Before they knew what that was too.
Before they knew what that was too.
Exactly.
So I'm just observing all these things and I just remember I couldn't stop smiling. Like, I was just like, like the whole time, I just was like this, like,
yeah, like just stuck,
just stuck, bro.
That's actually fire.
Like, I'm stuck because, like I said, we look at Toon like a god, like where we from, like he's a myth, you know. Like, no one makes it from New Orleans, Gary. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one makes it from there. So him is like. It's like the numero uno, like It's like Jesus.
Exactly, bro.
It's crazy, bro. Yeah. So so he's saying what's up to everybody in the park, he's dapping everybody off, and like I'm the last one he come to, and he walks up to me, and I'm sitting down on the ramp, and he's like, "Yo, what's up? My name Wayne," and I was like, "Oh, what's up, bro? I'm Yo-Yo," and he's like, "Yeah, man, I know who you are. I watched some videos that Dante showed me. He was like, bro, you rip, bro. Like you could skate." And I was like, oh shit. Like I was took it off guard because like Dante kind of briefly told me over the phone, but
He
the
didn't really let
way,
it know. Yeah. He made it seem
yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
bring your homie. He made it seem like you got some homies, bring them through. We gonna skate tonight. But he not
for
letting you
sure,
know,
for
like,
sure.
Wayne has been like studying and trying to peep. Like, yo, I'm skating. Cause this is the thing, audience people. I know we haven't really tapped into y'all because I really wanted to hear, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear Yo-Yo's story. But I want to like make a brief interjection. Wayne had just got out. He was
Yeah,
sitting. People don't realize that Wayne went through a real change to never be that again, and he needed to pick up something besides that cup and them problems. So he came to
facts,
this. And you feel me? And
facts.
another thing people don't realize is Wayne studies stuff when he's interested. He's not interested in much. He
He
is not
do,
interested in much. You feel me?
he
So
do.
so if he looking at you, I know like you feel me, he really is like,
Yeah.
yo, all right,
No,
if I,
he's
you know what I'm
invested for
saying?
sure.
Yeah.
He
So
was invested since day one for sure.
yeah.
And I didn't notice it until he started talking to me. And I was like, oh, this feels different.
Yeah.
I was like, he's talking to me kind of like on some like not saying I don't know if favoritism is the right word, but
Yeah.
like he was showing me a lot of love, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
showing me a lot of grace, showing me a lot of love, like complimenting me, like reassuring me, like I'll be skating, he'll always like clap for
Support you and
me and
stuff.
just
Yeah.
like so yeah, so I just was peeping at the whole session and yeah, like he at the end of the session, he came up to me, he was like, "Yo, I think I'm about to start a brand and I don't know what it's going to be called yet. I don't know what it is, but I want you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You and my cousin, you and my little cousin Dante." And I was like, "Oh, sick. Okay, cool." So then, and that was the last time I talked to him for like months went by,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
nothing ever happened. I didn't get his number. I didn't get no type of contact. I just was a shy kid. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know nothing, and like but I think what he was doing was just trying to see like what he really was gonna do with skating and all this type of stuff because this was a new passion for him, and he's one of those people like if he loves something, he's doing it. Start
100.
playing guitar, he's getting guitar
A
lessons.
100.
He rap, he want to be the best rapper alive.
Exactly. He's not into
He skates.
much, but
Yeah, nah.
the things he gets into, he tries
Mm-hmm.
to actually do them. And you
For
know,
sure.
like another interjection is, bro, Wayne wasn't just sitting anywhere. He didn't have a small jail. He was in prison. He was on Rikers. He was out the
He
way.
was.
You know what I'm saying? And imagine when you are 11 years old and your father figure is a multimillionaire and you've had
Mm-hmm.
everything for, let's say, 15 years and then you go to hell. Prison is hell. You go to hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? It's like
Facts.
you come out like, yo, like, Wayne's
Yeah.
level of tapping in is something, bro. Because I remember I've been a fan of Lil Wayne since it dropped. Since
I
since
know
the
you
since the
told me. You
since
told
the
me.
only lyrics was wobbity wobbity drop like
Yeah.
that. That was it. That was all you had of Wayne for
Facts.
real. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah.
we was on the album waiting for that part to turn it up or to the radio edit to turn that up because it wasn't on the album cut. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like to see all this and then he got into skating and then when I was like, bro, my favorite rapper wants to skateboard. This is insane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know that he had a lot of those like perception issues and people making the jokes because he doesn't come from our
For
lifestyle.
sure.
He comes
For
from
sure.
another lifestyle. It's the same thing that's wrong with Birdman. Not getting them
Yeah.
jokes like the Drewski jokes and the other stuff. They
Yeah.
dealing
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Shit, not funny. Like to
Yeah.
me, everything hella funny. I'm with skaters. I'm from the, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood. So it's like I deal with this and I'm like, this isn't that serious. I
For
love
sure.
skateboarding with all my heart and soul, but we need to chill. It's hella worse stuff. We could just be chilling. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's hard to do, it's
For
the hardest thing
sure.
in the
For
world.
sure.
So Wayne
For
really gets
sure.
into it and he really wants to do it, bro. It's like, oh, snap. So you're in the middle of that. But I
Yeah.
know you lead that session that day with crazy confidence. Even though you didn't hear from him for months, How were you
Oh, for
feeling, bro?
sure.
Like, how were you feeling?
Oh, it was crazy because everyone in the city kind of like, we have New Orleans is small, so
Yeah.
it was word of mouth. Everyone heard like Lil Wayne came to town, skated the BMX park.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, yeah, and I remember telling people like, yeah, bro, like Wayne was like messing with me, like, he was like, damn, like what, like everybody didn't really believe me, type shit, like they
Of
were just,
course.
oh, yo, was just blowing smoke. Da, da, da. I'm like, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, and then all of a sudden, like 3 months went by, and then he was doing these little like episodes. It was like I forgot what it was called. It was like Wheezy Wednesdays or something like that, where he was going on
It's like the
like
vlog type stuff, right?
yeah, he was like going on Facebook, and he'll have like these like kind of like a sports center where he'll talk about sports, he'll talk about what's going on in his
Okay.
life, and
Okay. Okay.
he'll shout someone out for you to check out, like an artist or anybody like that. So everybody in New Orleans would tune in and watch it. And I was watching it one day, and he said my name on the last like part of the episode. He was like, yeah, like
Yo, that's
he was
hard.
like, yeah, he was like, yo, I got a skater in the city in New Orleans. I want y'all to check out his name, Yo Yo. He's tough. Da 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 da. And I saw that, and
I'm up,
I was like,
mama,
no, no
mama,
way. Literally,
mama. It's over with.
literally, went, I literally went into the living room and was like, Ma, this is crazy. Look, look, look. And then I'm showing, I'm replaying it. And
Yeah.
she's like, what? And all of a sudden I started getting notifications. Then I knew it was real when I started to get notifications from my other homies on Facebook.
Yeah.
And like, this is when Facebook
It
was
was
in
popping. Exactly.
was popping, So all my homies, they DMing me, they messaging me like, bro, Wayne said your name, Wayne said your name, Wayne said your name. So then I go to the skate shop the next day, and everybody's like, hey, that
Let's
yeah,
go.
they like,
That's
damn,
hard.
yes. They're like, yo, that shit's crazy. So they start asking, was like, bro, how was it like? What was it like really being with him, skating with him? Then they start asking all the questions. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's cool, it's cool.
Oh, now y'all want to ask the
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
I try to tell
yeah. So
y'all
now
he'll fight with
I
your
was
boy.
trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
And then so then March Madness, right? The Final Four,
Mm-hmm.
right? With the basketball tournament.
Of course.
It was in New Orleans, like a couple months after that.
Mm-hmm.
And he came down to New Orleans, and he called Dante. And Dante, he was like, yo, let's go skate again. Let's skate at that park again. Like, I'm in town, blah, blah, blah. Like, could you bring Yo-Yo again? Da, 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 da. My homie Dante was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, let's
Easy.
get it. And so this time I told my mom that we was gonna go, and she was like, I'm coming. She was like, I'm coming this time.
I'm gonna
And she
go
was
with
like,
y'all.
cause she was like, I don't know why, but I got a feeling like I just need to talk to him. Like he's saying your name. Like you told me that he said some type of skate team or something.
Yeah.
And like all this stuff. Like I want to really see what's going on. Like I don't want nobody blowing no smoke in my son's face.
Yeah.
So she was like, I'm gonna go see what he talking about. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. I was like, Ma, just don't say nothing crazy. Like she was like, nah, I'm not gonna say I'll be cool, yo, I'll be cool. I was like, all right, cool. So we go there, and then literally like Wayne. Now, last time I was there before Wayne. This time Wayne was there before me. So I go in there, and me and my mom walk in the door, and he literally runs down the skate ramp and like immediately gives my mother a hug. And he was like, Yo's mom. And he was like, yeah, what's up? She was like, oh my God, like nice to meet you. He was like, yo, like, can I talk to you for a second? Like instantly talk to her.
Yeah.
And then he just pretty much told her like, yo, like I'm interested in like sponsoring your son. He was like, I don't really know what it is yet, but I want to like support Yo-Yo. Like, because I just see him being this cool little kid, and he's so nice, and he's so like I could just tell he loves skating so much.
Yeah.
Like she told him some stuff like I think he told us something like, yeah, like I'm Wayne, and like he don't even care, like he don't even care type swag. Like he just he loves skating. Like he don't even registered and I'm a whole rapper, like.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yeah, like he loves skating, this is what he want to do, you know. And she was like, you have my full blessing, whatever you want to do with him, you know. She was like, let me get your number and your contact, so like, you know, you guys can talk and stuff. You know, I'm still young, like
Exactly. You
she's
can't
not
just
gonna
be hitting
trust
up
me with.
Wayne. You can't just be
Yeah,
hitting up.
yeah, 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 for sure.
That's still Lil Wayne. At the end of the day, as much as he, you feel me, is bred on respect to the people he respects, still him.
Yeah,
Hey, so you
yeah,
younger,
still him.
mom makes the connection, and then
Yeah, she makes the connect, and then he's like, yo, I want him to come back here tomorrow if that's cool. I have my homie Adam Z and my right hand man Mac Main gonna come tomorrow. And
okay,
she was like, okay, cool. At the time I didn't really know what was going on, but I didn't get it till later. And it was Adam Z was RP. That's my one of my mentors, Adam Z. He's the one that taught Wayne how to skate, because
okay,
Wayne had him as like a standby skate coach,
yeah,
and just with him every day, just skate and teach him how to skate, taught him how to rock the fakie, taught him how to drop in, taught him how to ollie, everything.
wow,
So but I know what Wayne was doing. Wayne didn't know all the tricks and everything and the technicalities. He could just tell I was young and from New Orleans and kind of good at skating.
yeah,
So he was like, something special about this kid, but I don't really know. So Adam Z was the one to really push that envelope. Him and Mac Main. So when they came to the skate park, it was more like a test. It was like, yo, Adam, like, tell me if this kid is like good enough.
actually
So me
good,
and Adam,
yeah,
yeah. So me and Adam was skating a mini ramp, and we was just skating around, and Adam was just like tagging along with me skating and stuff. And like I can see him like talking to Wayne on the side, being like yeah, like he's
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 beast.
got potential.
He the one.
He, he's got potential. Like he's he loves skating, and like yeah, he has potential. I'm just still a kid.
He's
Like
super
I
young. Yeah, he's
probably
super young,
yeah,
enjoying this
super
thing.
young
Like this all
for
in like
sure.
a not a long time period. It's all over like a couple year time period that all this is kind of happened to you. You just kind of got back to New Orleans. You may be like 14, 15 at this point. You on tour
Yeah,
buses with 2 Chainz and Wayne and
yeah,
doing all
yeah,
these crazy
yeah.
things, and like then TRUKFIT starts, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's what that was. It was pretty much like the initiation to being like, all right, if this kid is good enough, then we're really gonna like put him on this brand,
Yeah.
like put him on Truck Fit and have this whole
Nobody,
thing.
nobody. I think TRUKFIT would have probably did okay today, but none of us, like in core skateboarding originally, we were like, bro, who misdirected Wayne and why is that? Like
For
the
sure.
spelling of
And
that and the
that's a
artwork.
whole that's a
Yeah,
whole nother story in itself. Like I didn't when I was still so young and fresh to skating
yeah.
that like I wasn't on that type of time yet. Like I was just like, yo, I got an opportunity. I'm
Hell
taking it.
yeah, not bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
like if
I
I was from North Carolina playing basketball and Michael Jordan was like, "Hey, I'm gonna teach you how to hoop and I'm gonna put you on my squad when I start some shit." I get it.
yeah.
You gonna go
Yeah.
over there. Like it's not. This is
100%.
not
It's undeniable. Like
a
it was
hundred, bro. A
being from New
hundred.
Orleans, I ain't have nothing. I ain't have shit. I
Yeah.
was like, all I had was literally just like my mom was literally just like giving me a few dollars when she can to buy some boards and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
other than that, like
It wasn't popping. Yeah.
it wasn't popping.
Yeah.
So and I didn't really get to travel and stuff like that. So I was like, yo, I feel like this is gonna be a way for me to like get out there in the world. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I literally so when he told me he wanted me to be on Truck Fit and stuff, and he told me that night at the skate park, he was like, yo, I want to fly you out to Miami and get he was like, get Mac Main's number. He's gonna hit you up, and yeah, I want to fly you out to Miami, meet the whole gang, meet the whole Young Money's team, and yeah, I want you to just come kick it with me for a couple days and skate.
Wow,
I
bro.
was like, all right, cool. So then, yeah, Mac Main actually hit my mom up the next day and was like, hey, what's y'all information like? You know, obviously I was too young at the time for my mom to fully trust Wayne and
Somebody,
them.
yeah,
So
fly you out like that. Yeah, facts.
yeah, so she was like, "Yo, I gotta go with him." So he was like, "Okay, cool." Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, we'll fly out the whole family." So it was
Damn.
me, my mom, my sister, and Wayne's cousin,
Mhm.
Dante.
Yep.
So so yeah, we go out there and we get off the plane and literally like got like black car, everything, got my name on the
Bro,
little
before Uber was a thing
yeah,
for real. Like
yeah.
when you had a black
Before Uber
car,
Black.
it was only a couple of y'all that had them. That's
No,
crazy.
no, you had to be like official
That's
type. You know what I'm saying?
so
Like,
wicked, bro.
yeah, it was like that. So I was just like, oh shit. And then get in the car. The car already know where we're going. He's like, yep, we're going to stay at this nice ass hotel in South Beach, right there on the beach. Like me and Dante had our own room, and my mom and my sister had our own room. And we was just like, it was like, yeah, order whatever you want, eat whatever you want, do whatever you want. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's the Mac Main texted my mom that and was like, yo, Wayne, it was like, yo, do whatever y'all want, eat whatever y'all want, everything's on us. It was like, but at 8, at 9, Wayne's gonna have a dinner and wants y'all to come over for dinner. And then after that, around midnight one, moms and sister, because they was of age, they was like, yeah, we're gonna go to the club. Y'all can come with us to the club.
If y'all want to,
So
type. Yeah.
yeah, if y'all want to. So my mom was like, shit, hell yeah, let's
For
go. So,
sure.
so she got more lit in Miami than me at the time. I
Living life.
was
Living
living
life.
life. So yeah, we go to Wayne's house and at the time I like kind of hurt myself skating, so I couldn't really skate.
On that
So
trip.
on that trip, so it was more so like a meet and greet type thing,
Yeah.
kind of just getting, seeing everybody and just like meeting his staff and like just having dinner with him and Mac Main and stuff and like yeah, it was crazy. He had a chef, like going in his house. I'm like seeing all this artwork and plaques and all this shit. I'm like, yo, this is like surreal. Like this makes no sense. Like what's going on? And he was just so cool, so cool about everything. He's just so cool about everything. Like, and then I remember he told my mom like, "Yo, like, if it's cool, like, Yosef could come out here in the summertime and like he could stay however long he want, and we could just skate up and just be on some kicking and shit. And like, he's like, I'm trying to start this brand TRUKFIT, and I just kind of want him to like be around." And my mom was like, Psh, "Say less."
Like,
Like, he's
yeah,
like,
she's seen it. She got the experience. She know you safe and you good now. Like,
yeah,
she like, all right,
exactly,
if he come over
exactly.
here, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I
She
understand her
know
nerves. Yeah, but
she know that Wayne is still Wayne. She's seen things like she's
yeah,
seen him have girls at his
yeah,
house when we pulled up. Like he had a girl there. She's seen that
yeah,
he smoked weed and he in a lifestyle.
exactly.
It's a rapper life. She's seen that, but she trusted me
A
so much
lifestyle that he created, by the way. That wasn't a lifestyle
for
for a lot of
sure.
y'all. All right.
100%, 100%. And I knew it wasn't my lifestyle. Like I think that's why me and Wayne connection became so strong,
Yeah,
especially when I went to him for that summer, is because that whole summer, like I didn't geek out on the fact that he had Bugattis and Rolls Royces and Mr. G come pick me up and take me wherever I want and all
yeah.
these things. I didn't geek out on none of it. Everything I was geeking out on was all skate related stuff. So he'll be like, yo, the Five Borough team are gonna come skate the park with us tonight. And I'm like,
Oh
oh shit,
shit.
like
Yeah,
Five
you
Borough, like
stoked.
me. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
stoked. Like I'm like, cause I was in New York, I knew what that was. I knew that brand, and I was like, oh yeah, I know this. Like Five Borough NYC, like damn sick. Or he'll say like, yo, like I remember Danny Fonzalita was him and Chris Blake was gonna come and like I knew who they were from like videos. I knew Chris Blake from like Florida videos, and I knew Danny Fonzalita from Think videos. Like I was a
yeah.
nerd. Like I was a real skate nerd. I knew everybody and everything. I was
At
one of
that
those type
time,
of
yeah.
kids.
That's
At
all that
that
down
time, like
south. Yep.
yeah, I had nothing but time. Like I googled everybody, everything. I knew about everybody, who they sponsored about, everything. I was like, oh yeah, that's Danny Fonsalita. Oh yeah, that's Chris Blake. Oh yeah, this is this person. Oh yeah, that's that person. Like I was a literal like geek on skating. Like, and he
Yeah.
saw that. And he was just like, damn, this kid don't even care. Like he'll be like, yo, we're gonna go to this party. And I'm like, oh, okay, like we're gonna go skate after, or like, should I bring my board? He's like, no, 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 no. Like
We just
Just leave your
partying.
board.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we just
chilling.
go party. Yeah, and yeah, nah, it was crazy. But yeah, that whole summer was just like an experience I never had. And then I remember right when I was about to leave, he was yeah, I don't know, and it's crazy because he was home for so long. Like after knowing him for years now thinking about him, like, damn, hold up, he was home for like 3 months straight. Like he didn't go, he didn't go nowhere. I'm like, where did you go? Like
Yeah,
we like all we did was skate, go to the studio, and go party, and like that
that
was
was it.
it.
That was
That
the
was it,
regiment. That
and
was every day for
that,
you.
that was every day. Every day we literally, this is the day I had my own little room. He'll come freaking he'll be like, so you ever seen like, have you ever seen videos of him in his house? And you ever
Yeah, the
seen
one with
like
the
the
mini
part where
ramp
it's
on the
like,
roof. Yeah.
yeah, you seen like we had like graffiti all over the
Yep.
walls and stuff. Like, so that was like the side of the house, and it had a room, and that was like the little living room area. And it was funny that he like kicking it in there because it's so small. But
Hmm.
I feel like it gave him that like relatability, like,
To
oh
what he
yeah, we
really
like
come.
we just,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, it's the way he come from and shit. Like he ain't in
Yep.
the big living room with the white flows and shit. He in
Yeah.
this dusty ass side house with like one bedroom and just like shit everywhere and like
Yeah.
boards everywhere, shoes everywhere, and he just be kicking it. So he'll come over there, he'll pop out like around like 3 o'clock in the day, have some lunch, smoke one, then we'll just talk. And then he'd be like, yo, you want to go skate? Then we'll go on the mini ramp, go on top, go skate, boom, come back down, shower, have dinner. Then from dinner, go to the studio. And by that time, it's like 10 o'clock, go to the studio, stay at the studio all the way to like 10 the next morning. And then,
From
yeah,
from your
go to sleep and do it
house,
all over again.
from your house being destroyed, and you guys, both you guys' homes and community, that's something you guys actually
Hmm.
hold near and dear to each other, is
Yeah,
destroyed to partying in Miami with one of the biggest rappers in the world, the person that
yeah,
presented us Nicki Minaj and Drake.
yeah.
This is that person. This is
Nicki thought I was Wayne's son.
wait, hold on, wait. You got Nicki stories? You got Nicki
Oh, I
stories?
got I
Cause
got all type of
I know you got
stories.
Drake stories. I know you got Nicki stories. You got Nicki
Got
stories. So what? She thought you
we
were her
got Nicki
son?
stories. The first that it's crazy. The first day I went to the studio, Nicki came to the studio, and I was just sitting on the couch. I remember I forgot who gave me a hoodie, but somebody gave me like, this is when the YMCMB hoodies just came
They
out.
just dropped. Okay.
They just dropped the all red with the white letters
Yep.
YMCMB, and I remember they gave, as soon as I walked in the studio, the homie gave me one, and I put it on, but it was too big, so I was just on the couch looking like a little ass kid, like this with this big ass YMCMB hoodie, and like I remember, so it was like there's like this lounge room,
Yeah.
and then like you could look into the hall, and then it's the studio. So I just see Nicki walking down the hall, and she's coming into the lounge room. And I'm like, oh shit. And
God.
she was in there. She came with Safari and like some other dude she was with, and she was looking at me, and she was like, and I was just like, hey. And then she was like, and she went to Wayne. She said, Wayne. She said, is this your son? And I was like, oh no. And he was like, who? Yeah. He was like, oh no, that's not my son. He was like, that's my little skate. That's my little skate homie from New Orleans. Yeah, they're like my little brother. And he was like, oh. She's like, God damn, boy. She's like, I don't be knowing. He was like, you got so many fucking kids. He's like, it look like what he got.
Nah, Nicki crazy. She popped to the house
That
already
was
active, muggy you on the couch. You
active.
just active,
Active.
already with it. That's that New York in her, man. So then
No, for sure.
so she slides through, and then also like people like Drake. You got any Drake stories that you remember?
For sure. I remember the first time I met Drake was actually, you know what's crazy? At that time, this is when Drake was like taking off. So he wasn't around
Yeah.
actually a lot.
Okay.
He was like on grind mode. Like this is when he was like touring every day in different cities.
Yeah, he's
Like
out the
he's on
way.
his own. He's out the way. He's not part of the, you know what I'm saying, like the group no more like that.
Yeah.
Like he's Drake now. He took off. But the first time I met him was, I remember Wayne one time, like this is like literally like years later. Like now I'm already knowing everybody. I'm the little homie. I've been going to Miami every other day, blah, 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 blah. Like, dropped out of school. I'm with Wayne,
But you're
fucking
already
every other
homeschooled,
day.
so it's like not really too much
For
has
sure.
happened to change, and you already kind of have like a direction with kind of like the model acting type of thing. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you
Nah, it
have a
wasn't
path. You have a path that's not very academia anyway. So then,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So yeah, he was like, "Yo, we're gonna go to LA," and I was like, "All right, cool,
for
like
sure.
let's go." So we go to LA, and then it was Grammy. I think it was a Grammy week, and
Mhm.
there was this club in LA called Greystone.
Okay.
And mind you, I was only like 17 at the
At the
time.
time, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's all alleged.
16,
If you say
17.
anything, it's all alleged.
Alleged.
Allegedly, yeah. Continue. See,
Allegedly,
yeah, Greystone.
allegedly, I was 16 at Greystone, and and yeah, I remember we pulled up to the back in the parking lot, and I remember this black car pulled up, and then boom, just like Drizzy just walked out, and I just saw his light skinned ass just smiling, and I was just like,
Successful
I
and
was like,
happy as a bitch, just hella happy.
happy, happy. But in that moment, I knew he was like, I was like, dang, like he really the one, because you could just tell when there was other celebrities there too. Like
Yeah,
Wiz Khalifa was there, fucking Paris Hilton was there, Two Chainz was there, like
yeah,
everybody was there at this club. And I remember when he pulled up, everyone like expressions just changed. Like
yeah,
everyone was just turned around and just had to say what's up to him. Like it was
damn,
one of those like he the new kid on the block with like the new toys. Like
yeah,
you like you gotta go say what's up to him, see what he about, and everybody was just like, "Yo," and he's just dapping everybody off, and he's just seeming like so hyped. He's like that he that boy. He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" You know, he's just dapping everybody off, and like, yeah, it's just crazy. And I was like, "Damn, like, all right, I get it now.
yeah.
I see, like, I get why he the man for sure."
Exactly. The ambiance
But yeah,
is
he wasn't really around too much though. He wasn't
okay.
really around too much. I didn't get cool with like people from OVO and that side until I ended up moving to LA.
Okay. And that was
Yeah,
like
and
that
that's
was like
when
much later, like
much
much later.
later.
Yeah. So you guys,
Yeah, it's like
so you and Wayne are doing this thing, and TRUKFIT kind of comes and goes, and then
yeah,
but you're starting to kind of find your own path. You go over to Los Angeles and you
yeah,
start skating with people, and people are trying to film you and be with you. Obviously, Wayne has made some introductions, but they like,
for
hey,
sure.
yo, first off, your story's crazy and everything like that, so people want to connect with you
Yeah.
and rock with you. But how was the LA move for real?
Well, so what happened was I was doing all these tours of Wayne. Wayne would have stages with skate ramps on them.
Where he would do like the
So
demos, damn near for the shows, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
So we'll be skating in between him doing songs and shit. So that's how like I was getting that's how I was getting money at the time. I was doing that. So I wasn't sponsored. Nobody was hooking me up, nothing. Just sponsored by literal Young Money. That's
yeah.
it. Like
That's
Young Money supported
damn,
me.
damn.
That's gang. Like I was going on tour, getting the bread, saving it, and then I pretty much saved up enough money to get a car. And then I remember telling my mom. My mom was like, I remember her. She came to me one time and she was just like, "Yosef, she was like, "What are you doing? Like, you realize you're getting older, huh?" And I was just like, "Yeah." I was, turning set about to turn 17. And she was like, "Are you trying to do this skate thing? Or are you just trying to be around Wayne for the rest of your life? Or what are you really trying to do?" You know? And I was like, yeah, like I want to skate, She was like, "Well, you kind of gotta like take it serious." She was like, "I feel like, you're around Wayne and you're doing all this cool stuff, but you're not doing stuff that's like skate stuff. Like you haven't filmed no part or nothing, or like you
That's
haven't done
moms.
all
Mom's
for
telling you
sure."
this. Wow.
Mom's telling me this because I put her on game about
Yeah,
skating for all
yeah,
these
yeah.
years, and now she's like, "Okay, I know about it now, so you can't fool me." She's like, "Where's the where's the progression?
Yeah.
Like what's going on?" She was like, "I just don't want you to fall to being one of Wayne's just like entourage,
Mhm.
or just like someone that's just around him. You need to have your own path."
Yeah.
And I really took what she said serious. I was like, "All right, well, the only way I could do that, mom, if I moved to California." I was like, "Cause New Orleans ain't got shit, and I'll be going to Miami and staying with Wayne for
Yeah, but
months. But
Miami's such a distraction.
it is,
Miami, New York, Los Angeles are distractions in a way. Like the
yeah,
thing about skateboarding, okay, the thing about skateboarding in Los Angeles is that there's serious days to do it. Even though there's hella distractions, you can get way more
yeah,
serious.
yeah,
Miami,
100%.
pure
Nah,
distractions.
pure distractions, pure
Pure.
distractions. And it's just like I mean, just everything. I just knew, like, from being with Wayne, I met people, so I knew, like, all right, I gotta go to California. Like, I met P Rod, I met Shane, I met Shad, I've met, like, just so many people just being around Wayne and going to skate parks every other night, that I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I feel like if I go to Cali, like, I won't be too, like, random,
Yeah.
like, I feel like I could try to make something happen. I don't know. I said I just got to try it. It's better than just staying in New Orleans. So
Exactly.
my mom was like, well, I ain't got nothing here either in New Orleans. So if you want to go to Cali, like, I'll move with you. So
Damn.
me and moms end up literally boxing everything. Got rid of so much stuff, sold some stuff, and then
Cut.
yeah, just moved out to California just like that.
Damn. So now you're in Cali.
Hmm.
You guys are almost, living off the dream your mom supported. And skateboarding's hard to make it in, bro. Like obviously you have,
Yeah.
like you said, you had good ends. Wayne knows all these people. You've met people. You actually form good
Yeah.
relationships over time by having the
Hmm.
significant person in Wayne. But at the same time, people are watching you improve. You go to
Yeah.
these contests, these demos, these things. You're skating in the streets. You're trying to get better at it. You know, um, but you're literally it's on your back now. How's that
Yeah.
feeling? How's that feeling? Like, yo, like I gotta make it now. Like I gotta make it.
So when we made the move, like, my mom was just like, yo, like, if you're gonna be, I was still kind of doing some homeschool stuff. So she was like, look, like, if we're doing this, like, you gotta be skating, Yosef. Like, take it serious, Like, she's like, I can't really tell you what to do because I don't know, but all I know is that, like, every day just go skate. Like, I don't
Yeah,
care. So I was
yeah,
like, all right, mom, like, I'll make sure I skate every day. And then so we ended up moving to Fontana because it was, like, kind of cheaper to live out
yeah.
there. And I had some cousins that lived in Fontana. So it was kind of worked out to where it's like, all right, we got some family that stay right over here. And, like, there's a skate park called Ferg. And
Okay.
yeah, Ferguson Skate Park, and yeah, that's what I like. I started meeting homies like my homie John Lane, the homie Tajay, started meeting the homie
Mm-hmm.
Julian, Trey Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started seeing all these kids over there, the homie Jose, Burberry Airy,
Yeah.
like, started seeing all these kids over there, and they were all so good, and I literally, they kind of just easily just took me in, like, because I think me being from New Orleans definitely helped out a lot because it instantly gave people a reason to ask, like, why, like,
Why you do
oh
this
yeah,
or
why you start skating, like, why you here, like, oh, you from New Orleans, like, oh, like, like, what's going on? You from New Orleans? That's random.
as hell?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you random as hell. What are you doing here?
Yeah, bro.
So I was like, oh, and then that made me talk about my story and be like, oh, well, I was doing this thing with Wayne and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, and everybody's like, oh, okay, cool, like, so everybody just kind of, like, took me in, and I just would skate Ferg skate park every single day, and the only real connection I really had was Theodis Beasley at the time because I met him through Wayne and he
Yeah.
was
That's
getting
Young Money
signed to
too.
Young Money.
Yep.
He was Young Money and too. He was getting signed as a skater. So I was like, so Theodis, I would hit Theodis up all the time and be like, hey, what's up, The? If you're gonna skate like this week, like, can I come? Like, da 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 da. And he was like, Theo, cool as hell. So
Exactly.
he was like, yeah, little bro, come skate with me. Like, tell your moms, drop you off, and
We
or you can
out.
take the train out here. I used to take the Amtrak from Fontana to LA, and he used to just pick me and my homie Tajay up, and just be like, yeah, like, let's go skate. We go skate parks. He took me to the girl park, like, and just through that whole process, like, through the first, like, year or two, just being in LA and just being in Fontana, yeah, I just got better. Like, just skating with those dudes every day, skating with the kids at Ferg, like, because they were my age, but better than me
Mhm.
because they from California. Obviously, they have
Yeah.
way more resources, everything.
Way
And
more
so I'm
parks,
late
way
to
more
the
time to practice. Yep.
everything. So I'm late to the game. I'm like, I'm trying to catch up. I'm like, oh, I gotta catch up. Like, you know. So yeah, so then my first ever real sponsorship was, I want to say Grizzly.
Okay.
T Pud, T Pud seen me and he was like, yo, I met you before, like around Wayne one time. Yeah, he was like, damn, he's like, yo, you got better at skating. And I was like, oh shit, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you kindly.
Yeah, then he was like, man, he was like, you want to skate? You want to get some grip? Like, you want to skate Grizzly? And this is when Grizzly was like popping at the time. So
Exactly.
I was
Top of the world.
top of the world. So he was like, yeah, and like my homie Sean Abgar, he could give you some diamond stuff. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
cool. So I was like, so yeah, so I got Sean Abgar's number, and then I met up with him. Spanish, this is a whole nother time. I'm getting times confused.
It happens.
But
so much
yeah,
stuff goes down.
No, for sure. But so yeah, I get Sean Abgar's number from Tori and went down to the Diamond Warehouse, got some little stuff, went to the Grizzly store in La Brea, got some stuff, and then like, yeah, I go back to the Ferg Park, like I give some stuff to my homies. They all like geeking. They're like, oh damn, look at Yo-Yo. Like
Yo,
he get his first
in.
yeah, he get tapped in now. Like what? And then I was like, sheesh, like the only thing I was like, what I really wanted was to get on a board company.
Yeah.
And I knew that was I was like, if I get on a board company, everything else should just fall in line.
Exactly.
Like that's all I was thinking about. So I was like, how can I get on a board brand, and what board brand would I want to get on if that was the opportunity? By me being a part of the whole Wayne situation, I knew it was going to be tough for me because, skaters wasn't messing with Wayne. They thought, he was trying to take away from the culture, trying to take money from skating when skating ain't got no damn money like that. I used to tell people that, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? This man bank account is more than the whole skate community. Like,
yeah, bro.
How is he trying to take from something that ain't even got it? Like,
because he had, mind you, he had a connection to the top of the skate industry, whether it been like the Tories and Deerdecks, but there was like no ground floor people that could really talk to Wayne. And all you see without knowing his story is that people aren't paying attention to every step. People aren't paying attention to the seizures. People don't know about the stuff with Bird. They don't know about him being how do I redirect my entire life to do something else? Like I said, to avoid the problems. That's not all happen. All you see is him be famous as hell and then start wearing tighter pants and start skating.
Yeah.
You instantly, bro. I did the same thing for a little bit where I was like, bro, I love Wayne, but what's happening? Why does he have a skate company?
Everyone did it. Like I have friends back home, literally like,
bro, we all did it. It didn't make sense why he was deciding to have a company and why does it look like that? Who didn't hook, like, why didn't you come and you know what I'm saying? Because he stayed on a where you would go to people that do art and do clothing. He's not gonna talk to skateboarders directly. He'll talk to somebody that might know some skateboard stuff.
See, what happened with the TRUKFIT thing is this is what actually happened. This is what a lot of people don't know. Like TRUKFIT was Wayne's brand, but it wasn't. It was part owned by somebody else, and Wayne was the face for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't his money, wasn't his art direction, wasn't his, they was just like, oh, Wayne, you want to start a skate company? Okay, cool. We'll just call it what you want to call it. And it was like, TRUKFIT. And like, all right, we'll do everything for you. He's like, okay, cool. Real superstar shit.
Type.
That's why it's like, and it's like,
I can blow it up. I'm Wayne, I can blow it up.
For sure. He's not looking at it like, oh, I got to be in the core skate shops and I need to be in the mags and I need to, his first thing was, oh yeah, they're going to sell it in Macy's. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's already like, when I first heard that and seen that, I knew, because I was like, oh, skaters ain't going to like this.
Yeah.
Like, they ain't gonna like this. Like I know it. And like he didn't get it, and and the team didn't get it. Like it just was too early for him to get it. Like he just still was so much Lil Wayne. Like Carter Ford just came out not that long ago. Like I'm Not a Human Being 2 is about to come out.
Like this is
not.
You know
what I'm saying?
This is not the Wayne of today where he like actually was like, why don't they like this? That he didn't
Yeah,
have
exactly.
that like moment of ridicule to be like, what's going on? Why do I feel why
For
they feel like
sure.
I'm messing up? Like why
For
didn't
sure.
because I love this thing. I love this activity. So
Yeah.
you're you start giving out gifts. You know you want this board
Mhm.
sponsor. You got a couple homies. Who's the first person? Who's the couple companies you think you could get on?
First thing I thought was Baker, just because I
The
knew
Otis.
Theotis,
Yeah.
and I was skating with him like a lot, and I met some of those dudes. Like I met Beagle, and I met Shane Hale, and I met, you know what I'm saying, I met some people at Baker and Surreal Jackson at the time, and like,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, okay, like I kind of know some people. Like maybe I could just get a little flow or some little 2 boards a month type
Something.
swag,
Something.
and something small. And it actually started with kind of like I kind of did it the old school way. Like the Otis flowed me first.
Okay.
Like he was giving me boards. He was
Yeah.
like, yo, I give you a board anytime you want. Just let me know.
Just
And I was like,
ask
all
me.
right,
I got you.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that turned into I met the homie Donut, who was team managing
Exactly.
Baker at the time. And he was like, yo, like, he was like, man, F what people say, you're cool.
Yeah.
Because he knew I came from the Wayne background, and like people wasn't really messing with me like that. And like, it's just like it was a shaky thing. Like it was a risky thing and I get it. Like it was a risky thing to kind of get involved with a kid that comes from this world, and
That's
it's
not
like
normal at all. It's like
not
you've
normal.
already seen the top of the world, and it didn't feel like you had
Yeah.
parts and all this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have the accolades. Like I wasn't like the other kids where like they came up winning the damn am, or like
Yeah.
they got the dope sponsor me tape, or you heard about the famous thing they did or something like that. Like I was not that kid. So
Yeah.
it's definitely like what, like who's bro, like why people taking interest in him, like
Hmm.
we don't make sense yet. And then it still didn't make sense for a while. And then it didn't even make sense to me because I'm looking at everybody. I'm
Right.
like, duh, everyone's so good. Like this is
Los
like
Angeles
this
is
is
just like, bro.
insane.
Yeah. It's a
It
whole
was it.
different spin.
I remember the first time I met T Funk for the first time, and I was like, bro, this little man is so good. I was like, damn. I was like, shit. Like I got kind of discouraged maybe a little bit. I was like, damn, I don't know.
Nah,
Like
Funk is nice.
yeah,
Funk
he,
is
he was
nice
not, and he's been nice as a child.
for a
Like
long
he's
time. Funk is
and
nice.
and this was the time when like swag is starting to come in. This is like I like to call it the Chaz Ortiz era. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? I come from the Chaz Ortiz era, to where like as a teenager, we all looked up to like Chaz and shit, like
Yeah.
because he was a young kid. He was our Sheckler of that time.
Okay. Okay.
Steezy, land everything perfect.
Yeah.
Like he
Steez
was
Ortiz.
sharp. Steve Ortiz had the earrings. He was fresh.
Yeah.
He wasn't a black kid, but he wasn't a white kid either.
Exactly.
So
So you could
so he was
correlate. You
like
could relate.
correlate. Like kind of like a P Rod, like the hood
Exactly,
fuck
bro.
with
We
P
love
Rod.
Paul. That's the hood
The,
hero. They don't
the
even know, bro.
hood, the hood
Paul
fuck with
is
P
the
Rod.
hood hero, bro. Like,
Yes,
it don't
facts.
matter where you from. Paul was the closest thing. Like, obviously, we had Twans, we had Terry's, we had
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
Paul was the hood hero,
He was
bro.
the hood hero. He was
So
the hood
yeah,
hero.
so you grow up in that type, and then you said T Funk's like the swagger. What you mean by that?
Like what I meant, like I see why he was like why he took off. Like it was his tricks. He was doing good tricks, but he was like a grown man at such a
Yeah,
young age, like style wise.
yeah,
Like he nollie hill, and then he put the hands on the knee and push. Like you could tell, like, oh, he skates with OGs. Like,
yeah,
he had that swag in him, and
yeah,
then so I started picking up on those things, and I was like, oh, okay, like I kind of see, like I started take little things to kind of like help myself out. Like I was like, all right, like I ain't gonna be the best skater in the world type shit, or like Nigel Houston or no nothing like that.
yeah.
Or like, I was like, I just really want to be like a dope street skater. Like I just really want to like, just swag out in the park real quick. And like, so I was like, so I started watching more videos. That's when I started really getting into like East Coast type of videos. That's when I
Hmm.
started getting into like static videos and
Oh
like
yeah, you start.
Polar,
Yep.
and like I started getting into Palace, and then Supreme started to come out, and then there's this whole new thing happening, and this whole new
Mm-hmm.
wave, and the fisheye where it's crazy and magenta and like all
Yep.
this type of stuff is happening. So while this little world is happening over here, and like Braun 56K and all this quarter snacks and all that type of stuff, I was like, that's my lane right there. I
Okay.
was like, how they skate, that type of stuff, I need to skate like that, and I need to get into that type of
But
shit.
in Los
So,
Angeles.
but in LA,
Okay.
which was weird because it was like no one was skating like that in LA, and no one was into that stuff like that in LA at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
Like now, it's popular, it's super popular,
Exactly.
but but at that time, it wasn't really that popular. So I remember when so back to the story, the so yeah, I was getting some boards from
Theotis.
Donut a little, yeah, from Theotis and Donut a little bit, and then I actually got DM'd. This one Instagram,
Yeah.
was in full effect now,
Yeah.
and
It's a real thing.
I got I got DM'd from Chaz Ortiz, and because he was a fan of Wayne, and he was like, he heard that I was in LA, or I lived in LA or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And he was like, yo, I'm having a party. Like, I'm inviting a bunch of people, like, come through. Like, because we follow each other on the internet. I met him through Wayne before and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, but we didn't really never kicked it like that.
Yeah.
But he heard I was out there. So he was like, oh, like, yeah, like, come pull up. So, and this is when I went to the Valley for the first time. And I went to this spot called the Chatty Pad. And the Chatty
Mm-hmm.
Pad was P Rod's crib, but he rented it out to Chaz, Manny Santiago. I think Shane was living there, but I think Shane had just
Just
moved out.
moved. Yep.
Just moved out. He just went big time type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It just switched.
yeah,
It
he
just
switched up.
changed. Yep.
Yeah, he got the monster deal. You know what I'm saying? He started going fed. So
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I went to this party, and then that's when I met the Valley crew, and that's when I met fucking Spanish Mike. And Spanish was someone I met once before, but we never really kicked it like that either. And
Yeah.
for some reason, me and Spanish just hit it off. Like
Bro,
he just was
that
like
happens, bro. You just end
that
up
just
I hate him. You
yeah.
just end up cool as hell. Bro, you end up cool as hell. You just end up cool as hell with him, bro. It's insane.
I know.
He not trying to
I
finesse
know.
you. He don't need
Nah.
nothing. He don't even
Nothing.
need more friends. But all of
No.
a sudden, you talking to him, you like, this my nigga, this my man's right here. What the?
Nah, for real. For real.
I don't know how that happens. Spanish.
He just
Yeah.
he's one of a kind.
That's
for
true,
sure.
bro. That's true.
He's one of a kind. He's one of those people though. He like this is where me and him kind of clicked at. We both people that's like we kind of like we like to know about what's gonna happen before it happens.
Okay.
So
Like to look
that
ahead.
and that yeah, so and that was me kind of looking at like Bron's videos and all the New York videos and Poland and all that stuff. Like I was looking at that stuff before it got popular.
Mhm.
And so I guess to him, he was like, well, this kid Yoski, like this kid Yo-Yo, like, I don't know, something about him, like, I just wanna like chew his brain. Like he's like a different type person. He was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he could be like a little skater or something. And yeah, he just was like, yo, like you hooked up by anybody, sponsored by anybody? Like, what's going on with you? And I was just like, nah, man, I'm just trying to, like I get little boards from Theotis and Donut and stuff, but nah, not really. Like I'm just, just trying to find my way. And he was like, well, I'm he was he was like, well, if you want to film and stuff like that, like
Link.
and
Make it
yeah,
happen.
he was like link up, and now it was because but low key it was because I had a car though. I had a car.
What was that car? What was that car?
I had a Cadillac, an old ass Cadillac CTS, like 2000, like
so he was
2005 or something.
Yeah, so he was like, okay, he got the whip. He young with a whip.
Yeah.
It's all good. So he gonna pull up, and then
because Spanish was on a grind too. Like he wasn't full Spanish Mike. He just got off the ammo and famous stuff and like working with Felix and all this. So he's just coming off of that, and that's when this is when Evan Hernandez was kind of starting to skate again.
Yeah.
and Spanish was kind of like being his guy, like kind of getting Evan back into skating.
Yeah.
And then Evan, I don't know how, I wasn't there, but Evan got cool with Wayne somehow, and Wayne hit me up and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna fuck with Evan Hernandez," and I was like, "Oh, okay, sick."
For sure.
For sure. And then I'm in LA and the Spanish was like, yeah, yeah, like Evan is now fucking with Wayne. Like you must have Wayne. He was like, yo, y'all should skate together and we should just like link up and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. He was like, I was like, I got a whip. If if you ever want to use my whip, like use it, whatever. He was like, yeah, come to the valley, stay at the crib, like whatever. Like, let's
Let's
do
get it.
this.
Yeah.
Let's get it. So I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, okay, I got a little gang over here. So then yeah, I started going to the valley all the time. Stayed in the valley for weekends, a week, stay at Spanish house, go stay by Chaz. Then I just started to get acquainted with everybody. Went to Paul's Park, met Shane, started to get to know P Rod more, started to get to know everybody more. And I kind of just became like the little homie. And it
Yeah.
was just like,
Just
yo,
bro.
yo's the little, just bro, like, cause I came from the Wayne thing, and one thing that definitely taught me was to never like dick ride. So
Exactly.
I was the little homie around him that was not being like, yo, hook me up. I'm trying to get on. Give me a board. Da, da,
Yeah.
da. I would just be chilling, just trying to learn tricks. And just they just saw that I was just trying to learn tricks and just trying to progress. It was like, yeah, Yoski just want to come here and learn tricks. Like,
That's
bring him
it. That's
through.
all he's on. That's
That's
all his mind is
that's
on.
that's all he's on. That's all I was on. I was pretty realistic with myself. I never was like the type to be like, oh yeah, like I'm getting this, like I'm gonna get on this company, like I'm gonna do, like I always been like, I always paced
If it
myself,
happened, cool.
always, and, for sure, and somehow magic just happens. Like all the things that ever happened to me, I never asked for them.
From getting bro, from getting
They
helicopter lifted in a bin
mm-hmm,
to your
in a
sister
bin,
doing freestyle Friday on
yeah,
106 in Park
one of
to
System
to
Park,
to 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 partying in Miami with one of the richest, most successful black men rapper artists in the world, to moving to
mm-hmm,
Los Angeles, being in the valley with the hood heroes and a Shane
mm-hmm,
O'Neal that's developing. You're right there.
yep,
You've been right there for every moment.
for every
Like
moment, for
your light,
sure,
like you said, it like you know what I'm saying? Like everything happens for a reason. You decide not to stay
everything,
with humidity. You know what I'm saying? Wayne could have easily just wrote the humidity wave and been with the biggest thing. He went with the
for
smaller
sure,
other thing. And
for
it's like
sure, for sure,
everything sculpted you to kind of like be in these right places at the right time. And
for
you you
100%.
you say you just take in skateboarding just to learn it. You at the Paul's Park days. You start getting flow for primitive for a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's because of Spanish. Spanish, as me and Spanish is growing and I'm getting better at skating, he's getting better at what he do. Primitive gave him a job, and him and Paul was clicking like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, Primitive gave him a job to be a TM, and like that was one of the first things. Like, yo, I got you on boards whenever you need. But
Wow.
this is the funny thing about that. I didn't want to be flowed by Primitive. Like that wasn't my like
In your
mindset.
mind, okay.
I was still on some like I always told Spanish like I'm gonna move to New York and I'm gonna be an East Coast skater.
Okay. I'm gonna be
I was
on one of
like,
them companies. I'm gonna rock with that.
yeah,
I'm gonna be on Five
yeah, for
Borough or
sure.
something. I'm gonna be on some whole
Yeah,
other.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. I was like, I'm gonna go do that because that's my style, that's my lane. Like this West Coast shit, I'm starting to learn.
Yeah.
I'm becoming older. I'm starting to learn. I'm starting to see what it really is, and I'm like, yeah, the West Coast is just different, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's just not complimented more for my swag and what I'm really trying to do. And yeah, he was just like, it's all good, yo. Like I give you boards, like all good. But what happened was I started to kick it with everyone on the primitive team. Started
Mhm.
kicking it with Trent McClung, Diego. When he was on, Diego was
Yeah.
also Spanish's little protege. So
Exactly.
Spanish was molding
that was who he
him.
was filming when he
No,
was.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in El Centro, Spanish been filming him since the Ammo days and all
Yep.
that. So I'm coming up with like Diego was like good homie, and like everything was just, yeah, stars was just aligning. It just aligned right, and the whole primitive team, like Trent was coming around, and then like Devin Conway would come stay at the house, and like me and him would be smoking and chilling together, and like,
Yeah.
and then everyone just started to get cool with me. So to the outside world, everyone was like, oh, he skate for primitive. But I never put that on display. Like I never been
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm flow for primitive. I never been like, oh yeah, I'm like
I'm
post my
on this.
boards
Yeah.
type.
Anything.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't really like that at first, and then And then I just kind of embraced it. I was just like, oh, okay,
Something
fuck it.
I
Like,
kind of
I
always
guess.
I wanted to kind of ask you is how are you making a living during that time? Because you're not on
Hmm.
anything. I know you still like Wayne
Yeah.
is still bring you out to stuff and you still doing stuff like
Yeah.
here and there,
Yeah.
but like what was that for you? Because when I would go out to LA, I'll be like, you always seem like you was just good. Like whenever I would see you, I'd be like, you look happy as hell. What are you doing? Like it didn't seem like.
Yeah, I mean, at the time I was still doing stuff with Wayne. Like I'll still go do some tours and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, certain
And
shit
that
like that.
all
But yeah,
paid
I
well
was
and did well.
a little bit.
Yeah, it was
You
cool.
know, as a teenager, yes, but as I got older, no, it
Okay.
wasn't. And then more I got into skating, definitely not. I was
Mm.
definitely the more I got into skating, the more I started to draw myself away from
From that,
Wayne and the whole
yeah,
young from that. And it was just kind of like I had to. I was just like, yeah, I need to create my own lane. So it was like starting all over again,
yeah,
really. So I went back to like kind of like having no money, like just kind of just
kicking
surfing
it,
around,
figuring it out.
kicking him, staying on Spanish's couch and like staying on Chaz's couch and like going to P-Rod Park, going to try to get some boards. Or I remember Chaz gave me some Nike. Spanish bought me some shoes one time. Like, yeah, it
Yeah,
was just like that. It was early stages, like just trying to, yeah, just trying to get me on board
yeah.
with everything. So yeah, I wasn't really making much bread. I would but I had got a job at Diamond Supply at on Fairfax.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
so that
then,
was like, so yeah, I was like, one thing I definitely told myself coming from the whole Wayne thing, like I definitely knew about money and what money can do for you.
mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be no like one of them bum ass skate niggas like who just like
I know
like,
exactly
you
what
know
you
what I'm
mean.
saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm
Yes,
not about to be one
sir.
of them. I'm
Yeah,
not looking for a handout. I'm not looking for somebody. I'm not a charity case.
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna pull my own weight, you know. But Spanish was my boy. Like, Spanish, honestly, like if it wasn't for Spanish, like I really wouldn't be here type swag because he
Type.
really got like I knew people in the skate industry, but he the one that tied it all together
Mm-hmm.
because I'll be with
He made it
him.
make sense for you in the skate industry.
Yeah, for sure. Because then when I'll be around him, and then I'll be around P, around Paul, everybody, then they're like, all right, people started to see it. They're like, oh, okay, they see like this they little homie, like blah 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 blah. Like I wasn't going into a situation just dry. Like
Yeah.
I'm just a random guy over here, like trying to make it. It's like people were, Spanish was kind of nurturing me through the whole process. Like I remember Spanish told me like, yo, you want to get sponsored? Like you need to work on your flat ground.
Yeah.
Straight up. He
You
was
have
like, you
to. It's a must.
trash at flat ground. He's like, how you want to be an am skater and you can't trade flip consistently? I was like,
Damn.
no, straight up. I was like, damn. I never looked at it like that. He was like, yeah, motherfuckers, you on tour and shit. You ain't looking at nothing. He's like, I'm like, yeah, you right, you right. And yeah, so he was just like, yo,
Get right. Make
yeah.
sure you
Yeah, you
structured.
got to get right. Yeah, so that was the first thing with Spanish. He was just like, "Yo, get your craft good." Like he was like, "Get your craft good. Make little edits, post stuff on Instagram, da da da, just to get the ball rolling and just let the hype build itself."
Yeah.
Type shit, you know. And then yeah, and then that's when stuff started to change. I think people once I started putting stuff out on the internet on Instagram, people started to know me for being a little Wayne kid, but they started seeing how quick I
Your
had
progression.
progressed,
Yeah.
my progression, and I think that was the real thing that helped me out in a sense because everybody was like, yeah, they knew I was from Wayne, so they're like, yo, oh, he's getting better. Like they're watching it every other day, learn a new trick, post
Yeah.
it in the edit. Like I'm getting my styles getting better, dressing better, just everything's starting to just get better and better and
Improve.
better and
That's what I'm
better.
saying, nigga. But every time I saw you, I was like, God damn, he all right. So you working at Diamond, you're getting this
Yep.
identity. Primitive's never like this
Yep.
real thing for you. I mean, you obviously
No.
you doing it. You was Spanish, and then some people break away from the primitive leaf, and they decide to add you, which is this video. Well, obviously this came with it way later, but
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
now you're a part of another pinnacle moment for skateboarding in the build of this thing called April with Shane O'Neill, Yuto
Yep.
Ish, Diego Nahara, Aisa's now there and everything like that. You're
Mm-hmm.
part of this,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
So it's like here you are part of another thing that's about to become greatness,
Yeah.
and you're also like in your pocket. You're tackling skateboarding. You're
Yeah.
trying to, you feel me, like be better and better. For a while it's like, yeah, you got all the fakey big spin variations. We realized that you could do it damn near over anything. No, you did. You had it on lock. You could see it. But then,
Yeah, yeah.
more clips have dropped. Then this part really like solidifies you. You're fully a part of this team, which is the best team in skateboarding, I would like to say.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And you're a part of this. It's like, bro, again, you're there. Wherever greatness has
Yeah.
been, you pop up without ever, like you said, without ever D-riding or glazing or doing too much.
Never.
You here. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah, and this one particular, I honestly, out of all the crazy shit that had ever happened to me, all the crazy blessings that ever happened to me, this one right here is definitely the one that touched me the most.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day Shane O'Neill asked me, like, it's crazy. This is the one that definitely was like, this is all I've been working for, like everything I ever dreamed of, everything I ever wanted was this, and like it actually came true, and in the most organic way. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
crazy, but
Exactly.
yeah. So I mean, to get into that, like this is how I became a part of April and everything. So like I said, I was kind of becoming a valley boy,
Mm-hmm.
staying with Spanish. My mom, she ended up moving back to New Orleans because she got a good job out there.
That's great.
So Spanish was like, "Yo, you could just come stay with me," And so I was like, "Okay, cool." So I was just kicking with Spanish. He didn't let me pay rent. He knew I was on the grind. He knew that I was a helper though. I'll clean the house,
Exactly. Do whatever had to be
like
done. You was raised right.
do whatever. Yeah, whatever has to be done. Like I'll pick up after people. I'll be like the most quiet one in the crib, like chilling to myself, like always helping Spanish out, and like that's why Spanish always had my back because he's like, yo, you always looking out for me. He's like, so I'm always look out for you, and we
Yeah.
just became like brothers. But Spanish at the time was staying in Shane's guest house, or
Yep.
Shane's back house, and then I remember I got into a car accident
Oh damn.
and my car was busted outside of the crib. And Shane drove by one day and was like, "Yo, Spanish." He called him, was like, "Yo, Spanish. Yo, whose car is this?" Like,
How far from my house?
yeah, he was like, "Yo, whose car is this? Is all messed up. Like, in front my shit. Like, his look crazy. Like,
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, that's Yo-Yo's car. He got in an accident the other day. He's gonna get it towed. Blah 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 blah." Like, yeah, he's like, "Oh, Yo-Yo staying at the crib." He was like, "Yeah, he's been staying with me. I just been trying to like help him out with skate stuff and just trying to get him like
Yeah.
trying to get him on board with stuff." And then he was like, "Oh, okay, okay." He was like, "What's up with Yo-Yo?" He was like, "Me and Shane, we knew each other, but we wasn't really cool. Shane is
Exactly.
very to himself. Like he kind of like,
I just had to
you
yell at him
know."
today. I had to fuss at him today. I was trying to get a goddamn April account at the shop, and I want Shane to give it to me. I had to go through a rep.
Yeah.
He hit me later. I was like, "What are you doing, bro? You don't miss my
But
phone call, Shane. Even though he is very to himself, I know how he is, and I know that if you have
yeah,
your car on that tight ass street at the house, because that's the house with the skate park in the backyard, so you
yeah,
damn near
yeah,
blocking the whole block off. They already
yeah,
don't like. They already don't like him
yeah,
for skating and shit. So you already got a wrecked car in front of his house. You
yeah,
link up with him. He offers to put you on the team. Or like he gives you like,
yeah.
hey, what are you doing? Like, what's really going on? Because nothing had ever really been official anywhere else.
He was still part of Primitive.
Yes.
He was still part of Primitive, and me and him from me having that accident, he called me. He was like, "Yo, you gonna do something with this car?" And I was like, when he talked to Spanish, he told him like, "Yo, tell him to do something with the car, blah blah blah." And then he was like, "Yo, but tell him hit me up. Like I might have some little stuff for him to do around the house, like and I'll pay him, like give him like some little cash to like help
Yeah.
clean the park or something, or like help me out with some." some stuff or whatever,
Yeah.
garage stuff, whatever, like just like little homie shit.
Yeah.
And then from that point, Shane just like started picking my brain and just seeing like what I was into, what I was liking, and he was just like, "Oh, you're different."
Yeah.
He was like, "What? You know who Yalta Hallberg is?" I was like, "Yes, he's my favorite skater." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Bro, like," he's like, "I'm expecting you to be like this burnt out like kid who's like skates for Wayne and just like on some like clout shit, like." When really he's like, "Yo, you're a real skater." Like
Yeah.
he was like you should like really be skating. So I remember I was like gonna drop a little video with Transworld, like a little mini part called No Signal.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he was like, "Let me see your footage." And he looked at my footage and he was like, "Man, you don't know how to do nothing." He was like, "Let me edit this for you." So Shane O'Neill actually edit. Yeah, Shane O'Neill in Spanish actually edited my first ever little part with my little Transworld like checkout type part. Yeah, people don't even know that.
He said, "You don't know how to do nothing. Give me this phone."
Nah, for real. Like I learned so much from him. Like in like just in those days, like he would just tell me everything. Like, "Yo, that's not a clip. Like, yo, that's not a trick." Like I'd be like, "What? That is a trick." He's like, "No, it's not." Like,
nah.
Yeah. Then I start learning things. Like I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he really started putting me on to like the detailed part of skateboarding and being like, "Yo, you really gotta pay attention, Yosef. Like, it's not about the tricks. It's more so about the spot, how you doing it, how it's filmed, how it's being presented,
Mm-hmm.
the whole everything. You know, you got to be into it all." So then once I started to connect with him on that, then that was like that's how we talked every day, literally. Like talk about skate videos. He knew I was a skate rat, so I'm putting him on like other East Coast videos and stuff that he wasn't really knowing about. And then like, yeah, he just was like thought I was a cool little kid. He was like, "Man, yeah, you're cool. Like I like him." And then yeah, we just started to be cool. And then I remember one time he posted a video with me in his backyard, me and him skating his backyard. And everybody at Primitive was going crazy because it was like, "Bro, Shane don't post nobody. He don't hang out with nobody. Like he's just over there doing his own thing. Like,
bro, yes.
What's going on?" Like, you know, and it's like, yeah, he likes yo-yo. I don't know. He just liked them. Like he just like, I don't know. And then yeah, then shortly after, Shane was like, "Yo, kind of the same." It's like history repeats itself. Same thing as Wayne. Like he literally, we was sitting in Veggie Grill at Topanga Mall,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yo, I've been talking to my OG, like my kind of like my father figure, Chris Middlebrook, who's legendary filmer, legendary skate at everything, photographer for everything. Chris Middlebrook is an OG legend. Yeah. Shout out Chris Middlebrook. But he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna start a brand, and like I don't know what it's gonna be called yet, but I think it might be called April." And yeah, like he was like, "Fuck it, like I'll put you on." Like
what?
Yeah. He was like, Primitive ain't never gonna put you on. And I was like, what? I was like, "You want to put me on like as I am?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, I remember he was kind of joking with me. He said like a little joke because he was like, "Yeah," you're like homie Flo Am. Like I was like, homie Flo Am. I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah,
he was just like,
crazy.
Like, but I knew what he meant. He was like, when he was saying that, he was like, "Look, I know people they know that you're not that good yet. And I know that, you're not at, what they think you should be yet." But he was like, "But I see something in you,
Yeah.
He was like, "I see like more than just like the skating with you. Like you have this whole characterization and, just telling me about myself."
It's more aesthetic to you than just like the tricks and stuff like that. So there's a build there. Shane knows that, bro. He got the vision.
Yeah, he does. Especially
Yuto was on Blind. Kids, hold on. Yuto was on Blind. Yuto was on Blind. Yuto was on Blind. I want y'all to know that real quick. Yuto used to be on Blind. He was a nerd. He had terrible sponsors. All of them. That was all ass. Yuto was on Blind. Y'all forgot that. Now you got all the cool shit. He won the Olympics. You think he's a superhero. Shane O'Neill be seeing shit. Yuto was on Blind. Okay, go ahead.
I'm crying. No, he was. I mean, that's like equivalent to being on TRUKFIT. Like that shit. But yeah, that boy, That boy Shane got vision though. He
You two was on Blind with Mickey Papa, bro. He was getting flow and he was living with Mickey Papa. They was the same person. I want y'all to understand that. They was too good at tricks. But Shane O'Neal took that boy.
He did.
And revamped his whole ish kebab. I mean, obviously, like, you know what I'm saying? You already come with a certain cool being from New Orleans and understanding life, being in the East Coast. You got all these things to like. They are sleeping on Mickey Pop. I just like to mess with him because it's the homie. But yeah, you get all these things. So when Shane sees your aesthetic, he's just like, you could be something that represents way more for April than just clips. You can bring 100%. The clips, you can have the parts, you can fulfill those, you can go out and film because you have a decent bag of like your own type of things. Like you've done a lot of things, like I said, with the fakey front big to certain slides and 5.0s, the nollie big spins. You figured out little intricate ways, like you said, watching all that East Coast skating. You've built your own thing. He can appreciate what you can add to the table of like somebody with a story and a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So this is happening to you again. Somebody else is trying to like upbring you just like Wayne did. So Shane is giving you that part too, but for skateboarding this time, not just to be famous or be out there. He's like, yo, I'm gonna put you in this with your way, and now you hear it, and this thing is just it's blossoming.
It's crazy. It's honestly crazy. Like, a lot of people don't know that I was the first person Shane ever asked to be on April before anybody.
See, bro. See,
I was
this that shit, bro. This is what I be telling y'all. When I tell y'all stuff is ridiculous in life, this is amazing, bro. Like it was just y'all two before he really even had.
In Veggie Grill, eating a veggie burger with the vegan mac and cheese. Yeah.
So you know what?
Just us.
and then you go on and y'all came out with the shoe. Y'all do all this stuff. He made sure you're one of the faces for it. He backs you. He brings you everywhere, and life now makes sense for you. Now, yo, I wanna get to this. I got a couple questions to ask you. For sure. I want to ask you, who is on your Mount Rushmore of skateboarding?
Ooh, I like this question.
4 people.
I like this. 4 people.
Only 4.
Off top. These 2, Ashad and Yalta Hallberg.
Okay.
Those are my 2 biggest inspirations right there growing up. My last 2. Ooh, this is hard. This is hard. Definitely got to throw P-Rod in there. That's hood legend. Got to throw P-Rod in there. And my number 4. See, I feel like weird. Like I want to say
shit. Shut up. No, don't do it. Don't you do it. Everybody do it. Don't you do it. Because you thinking of Theonis, you thinking of Shane, you thinking of Dante. Nah, hell nah. Who is your foe? Don't feel it. Don't do the politics. When you type in Google for people you have to watch or that have like added to your brain of like, because that's the thing too. Is like our Mount Rushmore doesn't have like, mind you, it doesn't represent who we love the most. You feel me? And that's what you start to think about when you think of that list. You start to be like, who do I care about? Which is cool. People can add those people, but if you're not thinking about them in that foe, we got Ashad, Yalte, P-Rod. Who is number 4?
Number 4, I'll have to say, number 4. Ooh, it's like 3 people. Like,
nah, it's one person. It's only one.
I'm gonna have to say, who's my number 4? Who's the 4th person that I take influence from for sure? I would have to say my number 4 would probably be Lucien Clark.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, my number 4 is Lucien.
Goodness, so you just swag inclined. That's all. That's a good ass number 4. So now that takes me to the other question before we get into a million bars. What is your favorite XGames moment?
Ooh, I mean,
and if you have one,
of course. I mean, off top, the 900 is that's definitely, that was crazy. I mean, I'm not a vert skater, never been into vert and nothing like that, but definitely as a kid, seeing that was like Michael Jordan shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, Tony Hawk is Michael Jordan of skateboarding type shit. Like he did the 900. Definitely, I would say I mean, of course, the Jake Brown when he fucking fell from the sky.
Why is that people's favorite moment? I didn't say most unforgettable, bro. I asked y'all that in confidence to say
it's the most favorite, not forgettable. like honestly, like it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's the only thing that comes to mind when I think of X. I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, Jake Brown went down.
I gotta play it. I have to.
He went down. Now, another lit moment, I remember watching X Games as a kid. I remember Bob Burnquist, I think, broke his shoulder or something, and he still skated in the contest and won that shit. I think that was a crazy moment. That was definitely crazy.
I understand and wish to proceed. I'm fully watching this. I don't care what they got going on. YouTube, we watching this. Even if it is in 260p. What? Switch 7.
Boom. Nah, for real. Switch. Airborne.
Boo! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, now you watching this, right? And you probably like, yo, Gary, that's looking shady. Bro, he walked off.
He did.
He walked off.
He did.
Jake Brown got up.
No, Jake Brown is him.
That was beast. So, yo. This is something I've been meaning to tell you for a long time before we get to the end of this, bro. Is during that When Wayne Went Pro podcast.
Yeah. Hey! So that's my dog Hondo. He probably over me talking. He's like, Dad, can you come show me some attention?
But yeah, so, real quick. Hey, puppy, hold on now. I got something to say. During when Wayne went pro, and you know, Wayne's always had like a bone to pick with me because I talked about the whole kickflip thing and whatever like that. And
I've actually talked to him about you and everything, but he loves you though, Gary.
I know.
He loves you.
You know, he dapped me up at X Games now because he gets it. Because Wayne had no idea. I think Wayne thought I was somebody completely different. By the way,
yeah.
So, and I never had a problem with that, but bro. When everybody in that podcast, in that moment, because you know a lot of people really ride with Wayne because like the Theodosis, and he been putting a lot of bread in people's pocket, bro. When you guys didn't dog me, when he didn't like what I said, you know what I'm saying? When he was like, I gotta get at Gary, you know what I'm saying? And y'all all had my back and was like, yo, like he just be talking, bro. It's whatever. Like, I wanted to say, bro, I'm so thankful for that moment, bro, because like y'all could have really just dragged my black ass. Like, no, I'm talking about. No, you could have. No, you wouldn't. Wait, hold on. Wait.
No,
you could have. No, real quick. You could have, and I would have had nothing wrong with it because I would have understood. Y'all could have, and y'all just like, because, you know, Theodis, bro, and Deshaun, and you, and Spanish, and Tori are all really my people, and we've all rocked with each other for a really long time. I think even when Wayne seen that, it was like, oh, okay. Because, you know, bro, before that day, that man was like, I'm not feeling him because he's the one that's always been. But then I sent the clips to Spanish, and I was like, you know that we've actually never only disrespected you. We try to make sure that we show you built a park in New Orleans, all you're giving back, the fact that you're trying to learn, you know, and really understand, because the person that I do skate line with knows that I love Wayne, and he used to be like, bro, he was like, that's kind of whack that he doing all these little things, and I'm like, bro, nah, and I explained it to him, and he was like, oh, bro, you start reading on it, start looking into Wayne. He was like, I'm not gonna let you just roast him, bro. Like, I get it. We gonna find ways to like let him know, please get the kickflip, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I want to say thank you for that. Like, man,
of course, no, and I want to say, like, we know, like I say, Wayne is a different subject than any other person. Like, he's a superstar rapper. There's things he's not gonna get that other skaters that we all get, you know. And that's one thing that, like, I definitely have to explain to him, like, yo, skating it's you know, it's raw, it's street, it's like people gonna talk shit, and it's just like ESPN or anything for basketball. Like, it's just constructive criticism, but it's just said in a funny, you know, kind of like raw way, and that's just like how skating is, you know.
Yeah, we all gonna get up, me, you, and him. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
100%,
He gonna,
100%.
you know what I'm saying? And I think that's all gonna be a really good big moment in skateboarding. So I just wanted to always,
for sure.
you know, I thanked you in private, but
Of
I just wanted
course.
to tell you, like, as like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
People be
Nah,
doing.
we love you, Gary. We respect you. We know what you do for skating, and like I've been watching your shit since I was a teenager.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know, like yeah, like we all know what it is that you do for skateboarding. Like it's very important to have a figure like you in this because a lot of skaters won't say what they really want to say, and it comes out super, super wrong. And you say it in such a genuine but funny but real way that it's like, bro, you can't get mad. Like I die laugh to this day still at 1-800 same trick, call it. Like still to this day. Like
remember
still
that?
To this,
Oh,
I remember
my
that
goodness. That's
real.
actually hard, bro. But yeah, yo, man. I want to look, and somebody put in chat, longest episode to date. I had to make sure that your story was heard. It is.
No, thank you, brother.
No, I wasn't gonna cut it off. I wasn't gonna talk.
Yeah, sorry if I was talking OD, but yeah,
no. This is, but bro, I'm telling you, grinding Unwind. We trying to open up the first safe. Besides, you know what 9 Club does, and shout out to my big homies over there. We trying to open up another safe space for like our thoughts, our talking. Whatever's going on, whatever's weird or positive. And I've heard your story in small, you know what I'm saying, brief cuts. Sure. But it's like now that I wanted skateboarding to really have it when it gets cut up for social media and all that type of stuff, I want them to know that your thing comes from more than just talent, because skateboarding is not ever been about who's the best. It's who loves it and how they do it. And you're one of those 100%. People that love it and do it. So salute and shout out to you. I got this beat I'm about to download right now, and I'm going to get in 1 million bars. Y'all better put the words in the chat because it's freestyle time, baby. 1 second.
Freestyle. Hey. Let's go. Let's go.
You got it. Look. Hold on. Where we at? Hold on. Oh, beat. Go. Beat. Can you hear the beat, yo? Can you hear it?
I can hear it. Yo. Yep.
Hey, I got the flow, a bake a dozen, it's G Code, and my boy, yo, hey bro, he got the A on his wrist, yeah, it's tatted, got it on him, shout out to the Noya, yeah, he had it, went through a lot, it was hot, went through Katrina, had to change his life, New York, new demeanor, came back, went to Cali, now he went to Miami, he was like, I'm leaving, now they brought the whole family, went out to LA, and he skated in the valley, he was with Spanish Mike, and them boys in the alley, he was with Leo and Dona, getting boards, oh my god, skateboarding just became his own chore when he was helping Shane O'Neal at the house with the skate park, chilling with Wayne, skating 3 a.m. in the dark, meeting Nicki Minaj at the house through the studio, seeing her, and I would have been like, oh my god, look at that. Nah, I'm just shout out to YCB. Everybody know me. In the back of the club with Drizzy, that's Drake. Yeah, we getting money, getting cake, making that all day. Shout out Young Money every way. Shout out to you. It's okay. Hey, yo. Hey. Yo, it's proper. I can't believe you really got lifted by helicopter. This a banger. This is crazy. And life is a beach, but you was on Miami and you was seeing all the beach. Little things through spring break and your life seemed fake. Then you did your thing. Now you one of the greats. You repping your family. And your mom is proud, and everybody know about yo now, doing dunks, doing ads. Everybody could be mad, but you made it, and you happy that they didn't. Leave your dad, grabbed your neighbors, and y'all lived, and you did your shit. Shout out to my boy Yo, and you living like a Yo.
Hey, the Nicki Minaj booty play was crazy.
Yo.
I'm actually crying, brother.
Yo.
Oh,
grinding,
man.
Unwind. Yo. The words of encouragement, bro. Your life has been a blessing. You're meant to be here. You're meant to make it. And every time something great happens to you, you fully deserve it. Don't ever feel like you don't. Brother. It's your time.
You, brother.
You're meant to be here. Appreciate you, family.
Appreciate you, Gary. Yes.
We out.
Yes. We out.